Mondays, we're still reeling from the effect of the weekend, our weekend activities, but you should know that Monday sets that tone for your week. So how you treat your Monday will ultimately determine how your week will go. So please make sure that you fall in love with Mondays. My name is Mohammed. Let's set sail by motivating you. Paul Henderson, who says, I get up every morning and it's going to be a great day. You never know when it's going to be over, so I refuse to have a bad day. No matter how your day goes, choose to have a good day. Every day, tell yourself it's going to be a good day, and you definitely will have that good day. Let me help you write better English and, of course, speak it.
Here is a recap of the words we brought you this week. On Monday, we brought you capricious. On Tuesday, we brought you laconic.
Okay, so that's our word for this morning. Let's now bring you our video of the day. It's our way of pumping you up as you go about earning your keep. Captain has joined me. Captain, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I'm doing awesome.
How was your weekend?
Well, quite restful.
Great. It's always good to have a rest.
I know.
Over the weekend.
I know.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. But what's up with you?
Yes, today on your screens now, I'm sure it creates some. It has it reminds you of something that took place on the 14th of November. On the 10th of November, actually, Justice Paul Bafuboni was vetted after the president, John Dramani Mahama, nominated him. And in the context of this, it brings to bear the issue of separation of powers. The executive, legislature, and the judiciary. And each of them must act in accordance with its rules. So no interference in the rules of each of them. But each of them also must act and then on each other, must put each other on its toes, checks and balances. So once the executive takes a decision, it is not absolute, it is not straightforward. A legislature must also look into it. Then an approval is made. Then the judiciary also takes it up from there when it has to do with issues of enforcement and interpretations and all of that. So on the 10th of November, the Parliament vetted the president's nominee for the position of the Chief Justice, substantive Chief Justice, following the removal of Justice Tokonu for stated misbehavior. And the vetting has been done. And one of these two things will happen. It is either he's confirmed, he's either approved or rejected. After the vetting, and we know what happened during the vetting, a lot of controversy and all of that. At the end, Parliament on the 14th of November approved Justice Paul Bafuboni as the next Chief Justice. And guess the number that he replaced? 16th since independence. Since independence, Justice Paul Bafuboni. So you can see on your screens a thorough list. And there is an area that we have demarcated. Okay, so from the top, from number 1 takes you back to 1876 to 1878, thereabout. That is long time ago. But I'm bringing you down to the era of independence, 1957. So from number 13 downward, you see that some of the names are there. So not exactly Sir Akukosa. Was in a helm of affairs in 1956 to 1963. Then Justice Sarkodie Addo also followed from 1964 to 1966. Edward Akufo-Addo came in 66 to 70. Then E.A.L. Bannerman also took charge from that on 1970 to 1972. Then Samuel Azukrab also came in 73 to 77. Frank K. Apalu, and this particular name rings a bell. You know what? Some controversy in there and all of that. So he came in from 1986 to 1990. Philip Edward Archer came in 1991 to 1992. So we are talking about the current Fourth Republic. So we are talking about the current Fourth Republic. Start from number 20. So since 1876. The first one we have under the current Fourth Republic is Philip Edward Archer. He came in from 1991 to 90. So he served for a little over 4 years, 1995. Then Isaac Kwabena Aban also came in 1995 to 2001. And for me, and then Edward Kwame Reid also came in 2001 to 2003. But one name that is very familiar with me is number 23. I remember way back in school. Judge Kingsley Akwa. Way back in school, Justice Kingsley Akwa and all of that. So the Chief Justice of Ghana, we were reading so much about him during the days. And so 2003 to 2007. Then we had the very first of the ladies, Justice Georgina Theodora Wood. And in fact, he served for a very long time. From 2007 to 2017. That was 10 years. So Justice Georgina Wood came in there. Then immediately after Justice Georgina Wood, we had
another
Justice, another female, Justice Sophia Ekufu, 2017 to 2020. So he stayed in office for a little, within 3 years. Then we have Justice Enin. He broke the issue of the men. So we will have a hat trick of the women in there. So Justice Georgina Wood, Sophia Ekufu, then Justice Kwesi Enin also came in 2020 to 2023. Then Justice Araba Esaba Saki Tokonu Gertrude, 2023 to 2025. So she came in, and currently today, President Dramani Mahama, Director, let's go back to the earlier visuals, will be swearing in the next Chief Justice. That's Justice Paul Bafuboni, and he will be the 16th Chief Justice under the Fourth Republic. 16 under the Fourth Republic, but he will be number 9 from 1992 to date.
Okay.
So that is what. But let me take you back. Let me show you some of the justices who came in. Guess who? This is Judge Sacha.
Okay.
He came in, one of the justices who came in within the 1990, within the Fourth Republic. Yes, he's one of them. Let's look at the next one. And then we have Justice Aban in there. He's also within
Ike Aban.
Yes, Ike Aban also in there within the 19. And then we have Justice Paul Aqua, Justice Aqua. Yes, there he goes. So he's
George
the one,
Kinsley Aqua.
He came in, and then at the end he left. Then we have the first woman. Yes, Justice Georgina Chidora Wood. And those days, have you seen the wig? This wig looks scary. It looks scary those times and all of that. So Justice Georgina Wood came in 10 years later. Then he was out. He retired at 70. Then we have Justice Sophia Abena Kufu also came in, also retired, and was succeeded by the man Justice Enin Yeboah. Justice Enin Yeboah left, also retired, and Justice Gertrude Tokonu came in. Unfortunately, she couldn't retire. Her term was cut short because of petitions that were received, and at the end of it came to bear that he was found guilty of stated misbehavior and had to be removed. And today, we are going to see the swearing of this man, Justice Paul Bafuboni. And he will be, like I said, the 16th Chief Justice.
But he turned 69.
Yes, so interestingly for Justice Paul Bafuboni, December 26th, he will be 69. And he will, at the Supreme Court, you retire at 70. So once he's sworn in today, Justice Paul Bafuboni will serve for a year, a month, and a few days. Yes.
I see.
Yes. So if today is 17, 26 from today will be 3, that will be 9 days. Good, 9. So it means that he will serve 1 year, 1 month, and 9 days as a Chief Justice. Very short one.
Now I'm interested who succeeds him.
Yeah, I'm sure that the conversation will start from here.
Well, are you sure it hasn't started, the succession plan?
No, it has. No, it has, because once you are looking at a year after now, you have to be looking for the next Chief Justice. Definitely, the considerations and all of that, people who are interested, the justices who are interested, will also be lobbying behind the scenes and all of that. But
there's one that I want to see, that topmost job, but I will not say it. I don't want to jinx it.
Yes, they are very, very justices. Some of the justices who are in there, of course, once the time comes, we will know who the names will come up. The names will come up at break time. Justice
Hafizat Amalibuba
in there and all.
She's such a firm woman.
Yeah, she's, and for her, 52 now, so she's going to serve for close to about 17, 18 years.
18 years.
I think 54 rather.
54, she's 54, so 16 years.
Yes, or like 16 years on the Supreme Court bench. So he has a long way to go. Justice Akabo Afo is also in there. Justice Henry Anthony Kofi is in there. Justice Gabriel Paman is in there. Justice Emmanuel Yole Kolendi. Justice Adibu Esiedu also in there. Justice Senor Jamefe is in there. And
I'm sure a lot of people remember the Jamefe Commission.
Absolutely. And maybe considered for the Chief Justice.
You never know. Good morning to you, Justice Jamefe. A special good morning going out to you.
Justice Jamefe, and then all the Justice Akabuafo, all of them. Justice Omorutanko is also in there, of course. Yes. So there are a lot of names that will come up in few months from now, when Justice Paul Bafodboni's time is getting closer. But what is clear is that today, President John Dramani Mahama will be giving him the power, giving him that sword
to exercise his mandate.
Absolutely, take over as the substantive Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, as by law establishes. So that's all we'll have for you by way of God today.
Well, we'll be looking out for that today. Thank you very much, Captain. That should do for the courts. Let's look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. We begin with the nation's premier newspaper, the Daily Graphic. Banner headline, use budgets as transformative tool. Speaker charges Parliament. Licensed timber export feat lauded. Ghana Regional Beacon of Hope, Assemblies of God Global Chairman. Comes with this picture as well. Africa's music stars storm Accra for GTCO music concert. That's it for the Daily Graphic. The Daily Guide says, Ghana is Africa's hope. Reverend Yu. Malarian delegation commends HEPA Plus founder. NPP flag bearer primaries. External branches fight proxy ban. 2 jets for helicopters purchase cover-up. That's according to the minority. And later on in the show, we'll do a bit of postmortem of Budget 2026, the things that we're looking forward to in Budget 2026. And we'll equally touch on security. Illegal mining hotspots raided, drugs, dynamite seized. The New Crusading Guide, the sad end of the King of Chadu, Adolf Tete, whips a Supreme Court 5-0 ruling, overturns his land empire and vindicates Anas. Adolf Tete J falls sick, rushed to hospital. A 5-0 Supreme Court defeat shakes the King of Chadu to his core. Ghana Maritime Authority hit by a $1 million scandal involving the MV Sankofa vessel. That's quite an interest. That's coming up. My encounter with Adolf Tete Ajay and Kojo Graham. Adolf is full of greed, while Graham is smart. An eyewitness account by Professor Santi. ECG revenue claims, fact, fiction, and funny side of the numbers. The Ghanaian Times this morning says will ensure seamless recruitment process. Interior Minister assures 2026 budget full of cosmetic rhetorics. That's according to the minority, and it comes with a picture of the former finance minister. The Daily Statesman says, let's prioritize maintenance, not fresh projects. Kwabena Ejopo is saying, GHOne Group charts private sector path for carbon markets at the COP30. Partisan attitudes can defeat corruption, says Mwosohene. Minority NDC trading tomorrow for today. The Custodian says minority dissects 2025-2026 budgets, fanciful allocations, paltry releases. COP30, GHOne Group sets private sector carbon market plan as it attends COP30 in Brazil. Ideas will transform Ghana, not personal wealth. That's according to the NPP flag bearer hopeful Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Republic Bank Ghana opens new headquarters. Prudential Bank celebrates customers at dinner in Takrady. The Chronicle this morning says, Ato, you failed to account for 66 million cedis doled out to NDC. Osahin Apenyomakin tells Finance Minister in Parliament, Ghana's corruption fight is abysmal. As according to Mwosohene, Chado lands Anas wins big at the Supreme Court. Memory verse for this morning, Isaiah 1:4. Alas, sinful nation, people weighed down with iniquity, offspring of evildoers, sons who act corruptly. Who are these sons? The Ghanaian publisher says minister seeks $10 million tax waiver for Indian firm. That story is captured on page 2. 2026 budget government trading future growth for optics, as according to Minority, being spearheaded by former Finance Minister Dr. Mohammed Adam. Achimwa chief urges tougher action on corruption, and Galamsey Samsudeen wins AFPC second turn. Rock Bible Institute calls for integrity in service. So that's what the newspapers are reporting this morning. But if you're a lover of gold, let me tell you where you can buy authentic gold. Now, pure Ghanaian gold crafted into eternal elegance from the heart of our soil to the soul of your style. Gold board jewelry weaves heritage artistry with modern luxury. Every piece whispers stories of tradition, beauty, and unmatched excellence. The gold board jewelry is full of pure, locally sourced Ghanaian gold. It has artistry that honors heritage while embracing contemporary luxury, and it also has timeless pieces designed to elevate every moment of your day. Their showroom locations are located at Kimbo. They are located at Diamond House. You can call them on 0555 810 005. Inosu, they are located on the Oxford Street. The number to call them on is 0556 771 438. In East Legon, they are located on the Otele Avenue. The number to reach them on is 0553163811. On the Springtex Road, they are located at the Marina Mall. The number is 0556771414. If you live in Tema, they are located at Community 11, so you can walk in. The number to reach them on is 0556 771 415. 0556 771 415. If you're also in Kumasi, they are located in two places. They are located at the Ampoma Arcade, and then they are located also at the Prempeh International Airport. At the Ampoma Arcade, you can reach them on 0556 771 416, 0556 771 416, or at the Prempeh International Airport, you can reach them on 053 1040 808, 053 1040 808. Have you guys heard of the MTN Free After One Extra? If not, lend me your ears. For those of you who love MTN Free After One, there's an addition, the MTN Free After One Extra. Now, let me tell you what the extra is all about. Now, with MTN Free After One Extra, you can talk for a whole 1 hour uninterrupted while paying for only the first minutes of every 10 minutes that you talk, which means for every 10 minutes of talk time within an hour, you only pay for the first minute, and you get to talk for 60 minutes straight with no interruptions whatsoever. You like what you hear? Well, that's not enough. There's more for you. You also get 50 megawatts of free data after your first call daily. So you see, there's an extra for you when you subscribe to MTN Free After One Extra. To do that, you can just dial *550# *550#, follow the prompts, and then you get to enjoy all the goodies that comes with MTN Free After One. Now, if you're suffering from diseases like diabetes, stroke, hypertension, and the likes, I have good news for you. At the Roman Bridge Traditional Chinese Clinic, they provide effective treatment and management of stroke, heart diseases, diabetes, spine, liver, and kidney problems. They are located opposite the Indian High Commission at Roman Bridge here in Accra. You can reach them on 0546 450672, 0546 450672, or 0556 121 863, 0556 121 863. They work from Monday through to Friday at 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can walk in, or weekends, if you do not have the chance on weekdays, you can walk in on weekends. They work from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Accra, get ready for the biggest fufu Festival. It's the biggest culinary experience. It's located at the Guard Park, Accra on the 13th of December 2025. It's an Asanka affair presented by Osei Kumeduanepa in collaboration with the EIB network. It's not just a food festival, it's a cultural movement. Tickets are selling fast, so you can visit www.eduanepa.com or you can simply dial *714 *703 hash www.eduanepa.com, or you can just dial *714 *703 hash. On all networks, tell a friend to tell another friend. It's fufu on a pack. My name is Lily Mohammed. I am back after this break. When I come back, I said with my guests, I told you that we'll do a postmortem of Budget 2026. back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV. It's now time for the breakfast review. And on the breakfast review this morning, I've been joined this morning by Kwadwo Nsafo-Apoku. He is a former presidential aspirant for the New Patriotic Party. He's also an energy analyst. This morning, we'll talk about the budget, and featuring prominently will be the energy sector issues. And he has all the numbers. He will help us crunch them. We also have been joined by Fatawa Alasan Jofa Esquire. He's a member of parliament for the people of Yendi. We'll be joined later by Richard Suma. He is a deputy general secretary for the United Party. My name is Lily Mohammed. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning to HIS viewers.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Budget 2026 last Friday was presented by the finance minister.
Thursday.
Last Thursday, I beg your
Last
pardon.
Thursday, yes.
Yeah. There are a number of issues, and let's do a bit of post-mortem of the entire budget. Then we can. The minority seems not enthused about the budget. They say it's just about fancy allocations, but paltry releases. Is that what you genuinely think?
That's what it is. Not, you see, the numbers don't lie.
Okay.
And I think the parliamentarians sit and look at what is being given to them, the budget, the allocation. But before we even go that side, I want to let Ghanaians understand that my problem with Honorable Atufose is inability to give credit. Okay?
In terms of?
In terms of what he inherited, where it was, and the trajectory that he's on. He inherited an economy that was not in a decline. He inherited an economy that was in the upward trajectory. Because if you look at the numbers, in 2023, we did 3.1 real GDP growth, right? Then in 2024, as he read in his budget in 2025, the real GDP growth had gone to 5.7. So if somebody does a GDP growth of 3.1 the year before and does a GDP growth of 5.7, there is improvement in going forward. In this budget that he read, what did he say? He says that by half year, right, the real GDP growth now is 5.1, half year, right? So if it's half year 5.1, it means that he's going to, sorry, it's not 5.1?
6.3.
6.3, okay, 6.3. 6.3 half year.
Okay.
So half year, as he read, he's done 6.3. As compared to 5.1 the previous...
5.7?
5.1 half year. So he's comparing 6.3 to 5.1.
Okay.
Right?
As compared to 2024 half year.
2024 full year was 5.7. But when the half year was read, he is comparing 6.3 to 5.1. So somebody did 5.1 and ended the year at 5.7. You are doing 6.3 now, and you probably end the year at 6.8 something. But what you should understand is that there is a trajectory. Something you are building on something good. You did not come to meet a declining economy, and you are now moving it up. So my problem, and that's been my fundamental problem, when you look at the growth that we had, and he read his budget, he wanted to be a bit sarcastic and said that, oh, it was a galamsey growth, right? And when he read the budget, he actually made that comment that it's galamsey growth. But
was that not trying to be sarcastic like
well, that is sarcastic. But my point is that if you read, he went on to say...
Did he really say that?
Yes, he did. Because let me read exactly what he said. And at the end of it, he now mentioned that that is meant to be a matter of galamsey growth. This is what he said. I would just capture it briefly, and then we can basically just go on. Yes, sir. But the point is that the actual growth that happened, he went on to qualify it to say that it was due to the mining sector. Okay, and then at the end made a comment that is galamsey growth. Okay, but the point I'm making is that you are doing a similar numbers, right? The 6.3, we all hear the gold exports doing very well and all that and all the attributes that they want to give to gold board initiatives, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, no money has really been given to gold board. So that will be interrogated further to see like what, because you said that you are going to allocate $146 million to gold board in the 2025 budget that you did. No, as we've heard from Honorable Patrick Boama when he did a right to information to the Ministry of Finance, no money has been released to Gold Board, right? So what is it that is driving your numbers? We've heard that in most cases, your budget was ready in March, right? You are reporting numbers in September, so only 6 months. Now, you're talking about 8.8 growth in the service sector. What input has the government made in the service sector for you to now say that it's because of you that in 6 months the service sector is doing 8.8? Okay, in the other sectors like agri, okay, what is it that you are talking about half year, right? Your budget was ready in March, took effect from April. In the last April to September, what have you done? What releases have you done in the sector for you to be
But then there's if we have to do a comparison, in the previous same time, it was hovering around 2. So is that
no? But what I'm saying is that we all understand where we are coming from. Look, nobody's saying that we are coming from somewhere good. We went through the COVID and all the problems that we went to IMF. The country, we didn't just go to IMF because we're happy. There were problems, okay? Yeah. We ran ourselves into a problem. We came out of IMF in 2018. We thought we were out of the woods. We were not. The former finance minister went into the finance market, took monies, and basically did all the borrowing. And then COVID came. We backtracked. We faced financial challenges, went to IMF. So we were in a difficult place. We are coming out of a difficult place. So the numbers were low and it's picking up. But what I'm saying is that...
Is that also not to say that then probably there's some turnaround in the fiscal space?
Yes, turnaround started before you inherited. Okay. Because that's the point I'm trying to make. See, give credit. Well, you see, it's difficult not to give credit. That is why the minority will now come at you heavily and say that, look, this. If you give credit, and Amin sits there and realizes that, oh, the man has acknowledged some of the things I did. Because really and truly, let's ask ourselves, what is new about this budget? Okay. It's the same as any other budget that has been read in this country. Okay. This budget adds to the debt. It doesn't reduce the debt. Every year when we read budget, and I could become very critical of all finance ministers because what do? We have huge overestimated revenues that we never meet. We have huge overestimated expenditure, right, that we don't ever get to raise enough money to spend that money. Yeah. We list a lot of things that we intend to do to meet that expenditure, which we don't end up doing because we don't raise enough money to do that. Now, that's why I'm saying that there's nothing new. If you use Honorable Atufosin's own words in his own budget, right, he came in and said that the previous government had budgeted expenditure of 2.219 billion cedis, right? And there was an overrun, and we did 279 billion. So the previous government estimated 219 billion, overspent to 279, okay? And his statement was that, Mr. Speaker, there was an improved revenue because the revenue improved. The 117, the estimated budget target was 117 billion, and the revenue went to 186 billion. So there was an improved in the revenue, right? Then Atufosin stood there and said, Mr. Speaker, though revenue was improved, there was an overrun and 279 was spent as a target of 219. Let's look at this budget, what he has done. He has estimated 357 billion. You came in and last year you said that somebody has spent 279. It's an overrun, right? Because his estimate was 219. You are projecting to spend 357 billion. Meanwhile, what are your real revenues? What are your real receivables, right? Your receivables are, at most this year, you cannot earn more than 200 billion. Right now, he's around, I think, as per the budget, he has 154, right? 154.9 billion is what he's received. Yeah. Target was 162. So from 154, let's say for the next 3 months, he gets to get another 45 billion in his coffers. The most he can do is 200 billion. But if you're doing 200 billion this year, it means next year, let's give you 10% improvement in your revenues, right? So 220. If you do 220 billion, You are targeting to spend 357 billion. 137 billion in the hole. Where is that money going to come from? And that has been the template used by every finance minister successively. So what is different with Atuforsen? What's different?
But if on the premise of your submission, you mentioned that he inherited something good. If that has been the trajectory of finance ministers, you don't think that he will succeed with that?
No, what I'm saying is that that's why I'm saying give credit. I'm trying to give that input that you are not doing anything new. Look, you in his budget, he goes on to say that Ghanaians are worried about what you would call it. The Ghanaians are worried about how he's going to fund the difference, right? And he goes, Mr. Speaker, we have plugged the bleeding. Those were his words. When ordinary Ghanaians would be worried to say, in his financing of 57 on the budget deficit, you go to the budget. There's a bit where it talks about how do you finance the budget, right? And two ways he wants to finance the budget is domestic and foreign. So he's trying to raise 71 billion in the domestic market and trying to raise 6.6 equivalent in the foreign market. There is no space in that paragraph to say that, oh, we have been able to plug the bleeding and this is how much money we have saved from plugging the bleeding, so that's also going to finance the budget. You are using the same traditional way of financing your budget by borrowing. So the issue of when the NDC were in opposition, they keep talking about we can fund budget by plugging the bleeding, sanitizing the SOEs, there's over there's corruption, blah, blah, blah. What is the estimate of money saved from plugging the bleeding? What is the estimate from money saved from all the anti-corruption measures you put in place that you claim you can fund the budget with that? Where is it? No value. We don't have a figure to that. You are funding your budget through the same traditional ways of funding budget, borrowing, debt. So that's the point.
He says, I listened to him post-budget commentary, and he says that he's going to look internally instead of externally.
Yes, borrowing domestic. So he's trying to do that. But Kenneth Ferretta did that in 2018, right? Kenneth Ferretta did the biggest bond roadshow in the domestic market. So what is new? So if you're looking to borrow your chunk of the market in the domestic market, that has been done before.
Okay.
That's the point I'm trying to say.
So you're saying that will yield zero results?
No, it would not yield zero results. My point is that we hear about resets. Their manifesto is called the Reset Manifesto. What is new?
Okay.
There should be a new thinking. Where is the new thinking? In that budget, in the NDC 2025-2026 budget, what is new?
I'm sure Fatah will have.
I'm saying, so no. Look, we do a budget. I'm against that. Where be it MPP or NDC, I'm against it. That is why if you read the Dr. Bawumia manifesto, and good morning, sir. He's going to go to the Central Region to start a Central Region tour. I want to wish him well on the way. If you read the Dr. Bawumia manifesto,
is that to say that for you, Akanaipe?
I don't know what Akanaipe means, but everybody knows that I am a staunch supporter of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And since I did not run this year, I actually supported him too. I did that, and I do that 120%. But the point is that when we talk about running a country, right, you bring innovation. If you read the Dr. Bawumia manifesto, what did he say? He says that we seem to run a 3% deficit, 3% of our GDP in deficits year on year. He is going to take that 3% of our GDP and give it to the private sector to fund.
Okay.
So government is no longer going to be looking for money to buy all the things that Atuforsen comes and say, I allocate. The new thinking, the innovative thinking is that let private sector fund it. You want to build schools, let private sector do it. You want to buy buses for schools, let private sector do it. You want to build hospitals, let private sector pay. Then you lease it and pay over a period.
Okay.
That you are bringing a new thinking to the table. What I'm saying is that this reset that we've heard, this budget, what's the difference in subsequent budgets, the template that has been used by subsequent finance ministers? What is the new thinking in this budget? Aside allocating money to your big push, this, the main core of every budget is revenue and expenditure. That is the fundamental. In your revenue, there is no new thinking. You are only funding your, even out of the 137 billion in the hole that he has, he only make provisions for 77 billion. So the balance of the 50-something billion, we don't even know where that's going to come from. Whether there's going to be a Konfanochi to come back and take it from the sky for us, we don't know. Because there's a budget of 137 billion whole. Like I'm saying, I'm giving him 220 billion maximum receivables next year, right? You subtract that from his projected expenditure that he wants to do. And somebody who talks about, oh, in this budget, there's fiscal discipline. What is fiscal discipline? What? You sit and say that I want to buy 3 houses next year, a house in East Legon, and also go to Dubai for holidays, right? Meanwhile, the year before, you couldn't go anywhere. You only bought a Corolla pure water. Then the following year, what do? You now sit there and work. You've not made any new ideas. You've not met any Yahoo boy. You've not done anything. You are just doing the same thing you were doing. But you hope to what? Buy 3 cars, a Bugatti, a Bentley, and a Rolls Royce, and then live in East Legon. What new are you doing? Then after the following year, you go and get a mortgage and buy the house in East Legon, right? But because you didn't make anything new, didn't make any money, you don't buy the 3 cars, the Rolls Royce, Bentley, and Bugatti. You said it's physical discipline. You have not worked for any money. You didn't have the money. So there is nothing like physical discipline. What Atuforsin is doing, and that's why the minority calls it the small releases to the ministry. Every minister is complaining. He's not releasing the money.
Is that not fiscal discipline?
But now who costs up? If you don't have the money, why budget too? You see, that's what I'm saying. I'm against a lot of things that we do as budget in this country.
Okay.
Standing at the box, announcing all those projects, knowing very well that you don't have money to do them. Even now, we've stopped the road thing. You know, it became a bit more like a song. You see one road, maybe Sunyani Kumasi. That Sunyani Kumasi road will be in every subsequent budget. It will never get done. And minister stands there and recite these things, hoping that he gets money to do them. If you don't get money to do them, you call it physical discipline? No, it's not. Because you said somebody did not have physical discipline, right? That person budgeted 219 billion, overrun to 279. You have come in. You cannot raise more than 220. You are budgeting to spend 357 billion. About 60 billion more than what you call overrun.
Okay. I'm sure Fatal will have the answers. Fatal, good morning once again. And before you make your submissions,
good morning, my dear.
How are you?
I'm very fine.
It's good to see you.
Yes, sincerely, you know, I know most often you start the program around 10 minutes to 8 thereabout, because I've been around almost like 7 a.m.
Oh, so you're in the car?
Yes, I didn't know you were going to start early, so I sincerely apologize for my coming in late.
That's fine. That's fine. Fatal, let me hear from you.
Lily, thank you so much. And I have sat and listened to Senior on his opinion on Atuforsin's budget, the finance minister's budget. And to me, you see, when we say reset, look, even if you go around and ask people, civil society guys have always said that Ghana, we do not need new things.
Okay.
We do not need new ideas. We don't need new laws.
Okay.
It's just a matter of being prudent and being efficient at what we do.
Okay.
And to me, if I find a finance minister who comes in and he looks at the system that exists and he says that, yes, things are not being run the way they should run. There's so much inefficiency in the system, so much leakages, so much slippages, so much wastages in the system. And that he's going to make sure that from the beginning of 2025 to the end of the year, there will be prudent financial management of our economy. And to me, when such minister comes and makes that promise, and at the end of that period, at least 10 months down the line, I take his performance and I see evidence of this prudence dotted everywhere, I can only praise such a man. I don't expect him to come with new ideas. In fact, new ideas are relative.
Okay.
Very relative. No budget comes without new things. Every budget that you take, you have things that are new being introduced in the budget. But Ghanaians have become so cautious of asking for new things. They are asking, what are the ways that we can have better results for the things that we do every day? So, for instance, he comes out to say that there is a need to establish the IVMO, that is the Independent Value for Money Audit of a Value for Money Office. If anything at all, this is new. And what is the objective? He has identified these wastes in our system, these inefficiencies in our system. And he says that for every big project that the government is coming to undertake, this office, in fact, today as we speak, these MDAs do value for money audits on projects, but usually they just pass things out because the same person who is coming to spend the money, you're asking him to check whether there's value for money for what he's coming to do. He obviously mark himself, tick the box, and say, well, he has done the value for money audit. But if he, as a finance minister, has an office at his end, which will check every major government project that is going to be undertaken, and ensure that this project delivers value for money for Ghanaians, that to me, and he's actually, it was part of the bills that he has listed to bring to Parliament for us to pass. So there will be an office for value for money. And if this is done and then done well, trust me, most of these wastages.
Do we need a value for money audit? Why do we need it? Don't we have relevant agencies?
He has pointed out, in fact, he has even pointed out the declaration, the import declaration forms that are currently being worked on at the our country, the harbour.
The port, yeah.
The port. To the extent that he has come out to state that 31 billion Ghana cedis has left the shores of Ghana in the name of importing goods when there are no goods to support those payments. So this is a man who sits and sits.
So why do we need a different agency to oversee it when we can strengthen the ones that are existent to curtail them?
Which are the ones in existence? What I'm saying is that for the ministries, departments, and agencies, they are supposed ordinarily to do these value for money audits in their project. And the practice, what we have come to see that over the years, because it is the same ministry, department, or agency that has to spend the money. If you ask me that I should bring what I want to spend, and I said I'm going to spend 100 million Ghana cedis on A, and you say that before I come to you, I should do value for money audit before I get to you. You understand? I will obviously pass myself because I still want to spend that money. So even though the 100 million Ghana cedis would have been too much to do that project, but because I am the one asking for money from you to spend, I will definitely say that, oh, I have done value for money and I have ticked the box. But now if there is a different entity sitting somewhere which does not have any interest in the project I'm coming to do, it is independent. If it is going to now look at that project that I said I'm going to do and subject it to serious tests and scrutiny, it can deliver better results than you asking me, who is actually looking for an opportunity to spend the money, to do that audit. So that is the difference. You understand? Now, if you look at almost all the indicators, from the time NDC took over to date, in fact, almost all indicators, they are very positive. And they are even yielding much better results than anticipated. The projections were there. In fact, I can run you through some of them. The GDP growth projection. In fact, remember, when I listened to the former finance minister, Honorable Amin Adam, he said that this budget was being overly ambitious. And when I sat to listen to it, I listened to what they said in Parliament when Atifosi presented the first budget. They said that the government before 2024, we did 5.7% GDP growth. And the government came, Atifosi came, and he was projecting 4% growth. And they were saying that, why would we be taking the country backwards? Because if anything at all, we should be building upon the 5.7 that we experienced in 2024. Atifosi granted an interview to your sister media, your sister station. And he told Ghanaians that I prefer to under-promise and over-deliver than to over-promise and under-deliver. And so I will maintain my figure at 4%. But I know that the end will justify the means. The end results will tell whether I am doing well or not. Today, as we speak, even though he projected to do it, the economy to grow by 4.4%, today, before even the end of the term, of the year, we are doing 6.3%. That is massive. And the better thing about it is, I see, if you want to say whether a growth is really genuine, you look at the non-oil sector. Because a country that has oil will definitely, if the growth is largely fueled by the oil, then it means that that disease something can be a sickness on that economy. You understand? Now, if you take non-oil GDP growth, It's actually very huge. In fact, at the first projected to do 4.8. Today, we are doing 7.8. So the non-oil GDP growth is actually higher. 7.8. Inflation, the projection at the first projected that we were going to end the year with 11.9%. Today, we are doing single digit, and we have not even ended the year. You understand? Now, if you look at the primary balance, in fact, primary balance, we're doing negatives. We're doing negatives, in fact, negative 3%. Today, he projected that he was going to make sure that we do no longer have negative. He was projected 0.6% at the end of the year. 0.6% primary balance on commitment basis. Today, we are doing primary balance on commitment basis at 1.6%, higher than the 1.5% that he had even set for himself. And so almost all the projections are being achieved. And they are even being achieved at even higher distance. And agriculture, in fact, agric is where, you see, when you see your growth driven by agric, then you see that you can tell that there's domestic production. Because domestically, we are known to be agrarian economy. Is that not it?
Yeah.
And so when you find agric sector growing, then you know that a larger chunk of our people are benefiting from this growth. You understand? So if you look at it, agric is doing very well. Agric is growing by 6%. You understand? Services is growing by 8.8%. And industry and all those things are growing. And so if you look at these things and you sit down and say that Adifose is not doing anything new, then to me it baffles my mind. Because the indicators are there. From where. And you see, people can complain that we don't spend. In fact, it is all part of the prudent management. Adifose spent, I think, 3.7% less than what was spent. We've always found governments and ministers of finances spending over the previous year's spends. But Adifose has come to spend actually 3.7% less than what we spent.
Is this sustainable?
No, you see, he came to inherit a system. And given the sickness that he inherited, he needed to inject that discipline into it. So if today, that is why if you look at the team for this year's budget.
Are we then expecting an overrun?
Sorry?
Are we then expecting an overrun? You said he underspent. Are we then expecting an overrun in 2026?
Not an overrun. You see, the 2026 budget, if you look at the team is on growth. You understand? And jobs. Growth and jobs. And so if the economy is going to the state where more can be spent, I do not even see any problem with that. The time he headed the economy, he could not have spent the way the previous government was spending because he saw that.
So it means you are anticipating an overrun.
Not an overrun.
But you see, if the economy is growing,
yes,
and he has to
if he grows,
overspend.
not overspend, but he has to spend higher.
Okay.
You understand?
That's an overspend.
Higher? No, I'm not saying higher than his. But you see, if you ask senior, he is into that space. Even if you look at the budget, the projected expenditure is higher than the projected revenue. It is a given. You understand? But you see, if the projected revenue is this, and you are able to actually spend the money in areas that generate growth, even if you spend more than that amount, I won't blame you. Because that growth may not generate the revenue in the year in review. It may generate revenue in the coming years to offset for that overrun. So see, it is not necessarily bad to overspend. You understand your budget, and it is a given that budgets almost all finance ministers, their expenditures are always higher than their revenue. But the areas of expenditure, and so if you look at this budget, if you look at the expressway, almost all the projects that are outlined in the budget, in terms of the agri sector, the education sector.
Is the expressway really needed?
Wow.
The
Accra Kumasi Expressway.
But it's not in the budget. It's not in your budget.
How? What are you talking about?
Where in the budget is the expressway Accra Kumasi? Where is it? It's not in the budget.
You've not seen it in the budget?
It is not in the budget.
It is.
Show me. The Accra Kumasi will cost you $3 billion. Show me where there's $3 billion in the budget.
We have
for the Accra
a projection
Kumasi.
of $30 billion
to do
for
what?
the big push. It's part of the big push.
To do what? What's the 30
for the
billion
big
going
push.
to do? What no? Accra Kumasi 100.
It's not expressly
Hold on.
stated.
197 kilometers.
Kilometer.
6 lane.
198.7.
198.7.
Yes.
6 lane. 6 lane.
Yes.
In the US, they are doing that at $12 per kilometer. Multiply 12 million. In the US, they are doing 6 lanes super highway, $12 million per kilometer. Multiply $12 million by even two. Just let's round it off and do 200 kilometers. That gives you 2.4 billion. That's 2.4 billion, right? Minus the 8 interchanges that they claim they are going to put. So add the 8 interchanges, call the whole thing $3 billion. Show me in your budget where you put $3 billion.
But
you see, you put
let me
20
answer
billion,
him.
you put 20 million, the same, we are back to that same conversation you guys were having.
This is my time. Let me answer you.
No, I understand that, but the same thing we're doing with Paul. Right? The 20 billion you've budgeted is for consultants, designs, and all those things.
But an answer.
Okay, fine, go ahead. If there's 6 billion, 2 billion, show me.
Wait, that's part of the big push.
You've lived.
You're not getting my point.
Let me.
Let's not say that the construction of the expressway is in the budget. You have made 20 million to start reconnaissance and some work in the budget. That's what you put in there. So don't say that the construction of the expressway is
I want
in the
to
budget
answer
because
you.
it is
I'm
not.
not. Lily, let me answer you. He has said that the expressway will not be completed in 1 year.
3 years.
Yes. And so how do you expect the entire amount to be captured in one budget? That is
My dear, I don't mean to interject. If I give Atuposen $3 billion today to go to site, he will not finish that project in 3 years. Okay. Let's not stop kidding ourselves.
But that is your thinking.
You're going to build a 6. My brother, I'm an engineer. Stop it. Let's ask any engineer. You're going to build a 6-lane, 200 kilometers in 3 years.
Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, let me ask you.
You think it's unrealistic?
Not possible.
Let me ask you.
Unrealistic.
Let me ask you. I like your projections.
Okay.
What was your advice when you were putting up the Agenda 11 project? Did you foresee that you finish all before?
Oh, my brother.
No, I'm asking you because you are an engineer and you were in the previous government.
We learned from our mistakes.
Because you
what
came
I'm
out
saying is that
to assure us.
Let him land.
You came out to assure us that you were giving us 101 hospitals.
Yes.
In fact, and you gave a much shorter time. I think you gave 18 months or so to complete it.
18 months, yes.
And you started in 2021. You ended your term in 2024. 4 years.
And it wasn't possible, was it?
Not even one.
So
it's
why?
operational. So
why are you doing the same
if you
thing?
say you are an engineer and you were in that government and you advised that government and you came up with those bold conclusions which Ghanaians bought into and you were not able to deliver. Today, if you are telling me that somebody else cannot deliver, just as you predicted that you were going to do and you failed, I will not take your predictions.
So you want to do and fail?
I'm not saying. This is the man who has done his work. JM has a 4-year term. And JM, he says that JM's plan is to have it completed and commissioned before he leaves office.
Okay.
I cannot sit here and then begrudge that conclusion.
Okay.
You understand? But I cannot also give you credit.
And you are assuring us, I mean your viewers, that by end
I was going to even ask you before you came, because you asked whether it was necessary. That bit was even what I was coming to. I was coming to before he brought in whether it was even feasible.
I want to know the essence of that particular.
In fact, if you travel to the major countries, in fact, where economic activities are in the high, if you go to South Africa, for instance, South Africa, Joburg, almost all the big cities. If you Pretoria to Joburg, when you take a road, or you take your vehicle, you are moving from Joburg to Pretoria or Joburg to Cape Town. You understand?
Joburg to Cape Town is quite a stretch.
Yes, but people do it. They do it by road. When you hit the road, you don't like. It is not even traffic. It's express. You move all the way, even if it's going to take you 6 hours. You drive down, stop. You can maintain the same speed for 6 hours. You understand? Unless you get tired. And you see, those things are done to connect major economic hubs. Kumasi, most of the items that leave our ports here, if you trace them, 80% or 70%, when they move from Tamahabo, they move straight to Kumasi. And so, when such items can get to Kumasi, using half of the time that they normally use to get to Kumasi. You understand? And they spare the other routes, because remember, it's going to be an alternative. And so, the other roads are still going to be operational. And so, there will be lesser pressure on that road. And so it will boost economic activities. And so people can have lesser travel time. You understand? And they can move at faster speed. And you see, it will help to boost the economic activities both in Kumasi and Accra. And you see, when things get better in Kumasi, the northern sector also benefits from it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the businessmen from the northern sector, they do their businesses in Kumasi. And so the moment things trickle down from Accra, the sector to Kumasi, and then it benefits everybody. And so the necessity is not in doubt.
Okay.
In fact, we don't have even a single expressway in Ghana. We don't even have a single one.
We do, Accra Tema.
It's a motorway.
But it's an expressway.
Now
When it was built, when it was built, it was an expressway.
What was the population? How many cars did we have at the time it was built?
Now it's in
then
terrible
it could have been described as an expressway or a motorway. Today you can't describe even if it were to be in top shape. But that the 2 lane and all those things, it couldn't have today been qualified as an expressway because of one, the number of vehicles we have vis-a-vis the number of vehicles that were there at the time it was built, and those things. And so, after the necessity, it's not in doubt.
Okay.
And we need more of those.
Richard.
Yeah.
Good morning once again.
Yeah.
But I will not, and because you see, I am my constituency, Yendi. But what the beauty about the budget is that Nanado had come during his term to take Yana to this so-called water project site, and they cut salt. The MP then Farouk also came that another salt cut. Things, everything went zero. Nothing happened. In fact, today, if you take anybody, if you come to Yene asking for the site where the salt was cut for the water, nobody can even locate that very spot. There's no sign. And worst of it all, you just mentioned his name here, but Yabuama stated at a parliamentary vet when the regional minister was being vetted, the Northern regional minister was being vetted, and he was asked question on the Yende water project. But the Bama gave a clarification. JM had secured $30 million before we left office in 2016. The $30 million, what we asked of the status, but Yabuama said $10 million was used for the preliminary
reconnaissance
works. And before they went into the 20 million, then that was when the DDP, the debt exchange program came in and it swallowed the whole thing. Today, even though 10 million, which is 1/3 of the amount that was secured, 30 million, you can't even identify any singles and nothing is on the ground.
Okay.
I am very elated because there's a provision in the budget. The budget has captured that there will be 3 major water projects in the country, at least for 2026. Yendi, Damongu, and Tamale. And to the extent that Yendi has been captured. And this goes to give credence to his successor JM. When he came on his thank you talk, he told Yana that if he would do nothing at all for the people of Yendi, the Yendi water project would be something he would want to leave as a thing of the past before he leaves office. And so I was gratified seeing it in the budget. And it's something I must see before you say we are moving to a different subject.
Well, we're still talking about the budget. I mean, today we're dwelling solely on the budget. Richard.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to say good morning to all your cherished viewers, say good morning to your entire production team, to you yourself, and to my senior colleagues that have come to meet them today. It's a privilege and honor to share this platform with them. Well, you see, every government has its own understanding and appreciation of things. And we have seen the 2 governments, both NDC and NPP, govern this country before. We've seen both parties lead us. We've seen all manner of budgets before. We've seen all the Ahunto budget, the Mpuntu budget, Ahumbrasib, all the budgets tagged with various names, interesting names. We've seen them all before. But the question one will beg for an answer is all these budgets, the Ahunto budget, the Jumara budget, and all those other budgets, what has it really yielded? How many people has those budgets taken out of poverty into a middle-class living group of people? So, first of all, once again, I would like to commend the Minister of Finance for eloquently delivering the budget, speak to the issue, devoid of all manner of games and quotations and all these things. He was straightforward, and we must commend him for that. And as a country like Ghana growing up, we must also have an ambitious budget. We must be very ambitious as a group of people. We must try to do things that will be able to move this country from the status in which we find ourselves into a country where there can be a lot of jobs, there can be prosperity, there can be stability, there can be growth, and people can really feel that impact. Most often, our challenge is that we are not able to measure and quantify how many people we've been able to move from the poverty bracket into a middle class group of people. So I will only want to admonish that going forward, our budget should be fully targeted at reducing poverty and moving people away from poverty. Because this country is entirely engulfed with poverty everywhere. And if you look at the way we are sinking further into our abyss, in terms of the poverty rate in this country, it is not good enough. So in as much as we commend the minister, we commend the government, we appreciate the fact that they are trying to do things differently from what they came to meet. And then again, we cannot say the finance minister is doing absolutely nothing or the government is doing absolutely nothing. Then we are trying to say that the country is on autopilot. But obviously, Ghana cannot be on autopilot. That means something is being done. And if you are a CEO who have been appointed to take over from a company that is not doing well, the finances of the company is not that good, and you've been asked to take over to manage that company, you cannot go the same tangent. You cannot go the same path. You must do a complete overhaul, do complete restructuring, look at how to curtail certain things, expenditures. Even if there are so many people that have been employed by the company and you need to lay some of them off, you need to do that. Some of the decisions may be very difficult, but you need to take it in order to realign your vision with what you came to meet. And NPP just left power just about 2 years ago.
2 years?
Just about they left power, 2024.
Yes, that's
so we are going to
2026.
So okay, let's say just a year. Just a year. So obviously they have also done their best. They also did whatever they did in their own interest, thinking perhaps it is in the ultimate interest of the country. But nevertheless, people didn't appreciate what they did and they voted them out of power. So when a new government comes, you cannot expect them to go on the same path. Obviously, they must try to change the dynamics.
Okay.
So what is the new government trying to do? The government is trying to tell us that they've been able to identify several loopholes in our economy. For instance, we pay over $31 billion trying to import goods from abroad, which obviously never comes to this country. So that $31 billion, you know what it can do for this country. Obviously, if you invest it into the productive sector, it can be able to create sufficient jobs. But we waste it. If you look at the loopholes and the gap that he mentioned about under declaration of things that we import to this country, how it's a systemic approach to make sure we leave it like that in the ultimate interest of others who are benefiting from it from behind the scene, and he's trying to mitigate it and curtail all these things, it's in the right direction. If you look at our expenditure in terms of people who we give them mobilization fee, in this country, people have been awarded several contracts, get mobilization fee, and they don't even move a 40-footer or 20-footer container to site in an attempt to do anything. So that mobilization fee issue has also been a systemic institutional means of corruption, that people get a contract and they never deliver. And we must not allow such things to continue. So he did so. But if you look at the budget itself, there are a lot of lapses in the budget. One, if you want to grow, if you look at the theme of the budget, you say what? Resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. If you look at the budget, where is the growth going to come from? And where is the job going to be created from? For instance, they told us that they are going to build extra 3 factories in the textile and garment space that they anticipate that can generate about 20,000 jobs. I would have wished to be told that the 20,000 jobs, is it everybody within the ecosystem, those who are growing the cotton, those who are supplying the cotton, those who are doing the marketing, or it is only the people who are going to be working in the factories that they are anticipating to employ 20,000 people? Okay. If it is about 20,000 people and it's not everybody in the ecosystem, but those who will be working in the factory, that means you are telling me every factory is going to employ anything just around 7,000 Ghanaians. So the 7,000 Ghanaians, what exactly are they going to be doing there for them to be getting paid and be producing cotton or to be producing textile? So at the end of the day, we would have wished to be told what is the state of the Commander Sugar factory. Because it is the same NDC government which retrofitted the Commander Sugar Factory, spent a lot of money in retrofitting that factory. But as of today, how much is Commander Sugar Factory contributing to our GDP? How many people has Commander Sugar Factory employed so far? Those within the value chain who are supposed to be cultivating the sugar cane, how much has government deliberately invested into the production of sugar canes to feed the Commander Sugar Factory? The Commander Sugar Factory, I know it was government hard-earned currency they used to retrofit it. Has it been given into private sector person to manage, or it still being managed by government? So, if you are talking about establishing 3 more factories, I would have wished to be told the state of the current existing government of Ghana factories. Then we can juxtapose that against what we are coming to establish, to know whether what we are establishing is to contribute significantly to our job creation. And then again, if you look at government and their projections, my seniors are speaking about the anticipated revenue and then the anticipated expenditure. So we've all understood that definitely there'll be some budget deficit because you are going to spend more than your revenue is going to give you. For. And then again, if you look at manufacturing, any country that manufacturing is doing around 3.2, 3.5, 5%, then we are not really taking manufacturing seriously. The budget is so beautiful. I love the budget because it has given a lot of hope to the ordinary man on the street, knowing very well that, for instance, if they say they're coming to construct Accra-Kumasi Expressway, you ask the question, what is the significance of that? I would like to buttress what Honorable said that. It should be one of the things that we can beat our chest to say, that we've been mining gold for the past 30 years or 50 years. These are the things, these are the tangibles that we've been able to do with our gold. In as much as I would have wished that an express highway like that should be a private sector funded investment, because it's an economically viable route. Because Accra Kumasi, if you look at the quantum of people who ply that road and the quantum of vehicles that ply that road every day, if you give it to any private person to develop, and then you know that it's not a GHOne project. So if it is not a GHOne project, then you are guaranteed of the completion. But you know our problem as a country, when it's a GHOne program or a project, obviously the tendency is that, you see, today we are here, there are certain things we cannot anticipate. You see, and contingency is also key. So sometimes you project, but what about if unforeseen situations come in and you cannot continually fund the project? That means you are going to leave it like that, just like any other project in Ghana. For instance, look at the Western region. You know, government spent so much money, constructed the rail line, refurbished some of them, brought coaches, and do you know, at the end of the day, the coaches are there and has grown all weedy snakes have taken over, whereby we spent over $16 million in trying to do what? Re-engineered our railway network in Takoradi. If you look at the Saglami housing project, for instance, how do you tell me that as a country that we can spend so much money, construct a Saglami housing project where nurses don't have accommodation, teachers don't have accommodation, police officers don't have accommodation, military personnel don't have accommodation, civil servants don't have accommodation, but as a country we can spend so much money, build or construct Saglami and leave it there to rot. As I know, no human being is occupying Saglami. So who are we as a people? So if you look at the macro indicator that the government is talking about, so fantastic. Inflation 8%, beautiful. At least it gives us a reason to believe that today if I buy something 10 cedi, the chances that in the next 3-4 months, if I go to the market, I should get it around the same 10 cedi or 11 cedi perhaps, because the rate at which things will appreciate will be a little bit what? Minimal. So macro indicators solid. Then if you talk about the micro indicator, that means we are talking about industries and households and so forth. In the budget, respectfully, I'm not here to prejudice the budget. I'm only trying to ask how much is our expenditure projection for industries and capitalizing small and medium enterprises in this country. How much have you projected? How much has been clearly stated that we are going to spend $400 million or $3 million or $3 billion to recapitalize SMEs or to recapitalize businesses that are doing very well and only need a little bit of capital injection. So if you look at the investment that we are projecting to do for industries and the SMEs, it is very abysmal.
Okay.
Woefully inadequate. I've not even seen anything there.
Okay.
You see expenditure line for capital expenditure, for the big push, for services, and those. Because if, for instance, you spend 251 million Ghana cedis to buy sanitary pad, how maybe if the local companies that are going to produce the sanitary pad are Ghanaian companies, indigenous companies, everything they do is from here, then we can say it's going to add value and it's going to inject more liquidity into that space. But if assuming we are going to import those sanitary pads, how does that quantify our desire to make sure that industry should not be contributing anything less than 10% to our GDP growth? And then again, respectfully, if you look at the budget, it is also good that we try to harness the gas that we are flaring there. So government is projecting that they want to build a state-owned gas refinery factory or what do we call it? Processing plant. Beautiful idea, but I would have wished that all these things we get a private sector to do it, a BOT, where they can build, operate, and transfer to us. And then also transfer the technology to us. Because you see, countries are trying to move away from the status quo, where everything you come and do it for us, even when there's a small breakdown, you still have to fix it for us. We need to move away from that by making sure that some of the projects we do it absolutely a BOT project, so that you come and build it, operate it, and transfer it back to us. If it is 10 years, 20 years, obviously we will get it back, and then we also have received the in-depth knowledge in terms of what? The technology, so that we can manage it ourselves. And then again, if you look at what the finance minister is projecting to do, the ultimate agenda is to make sure that they create sufficient jobs. But our question again from the United Party is that where are the jobs going to be created from? Because, for instance, if the Accra to Kumasi Expressway employs 10,000 Ghanaians today, the moment the construction...
the finance minister projects 30,000.
30,000, assuming without admitting that it is 30,000. If it is 30,000, immediately that project elapses. The 30,000, where are they going? The 30,000, where are they going? So these are temporary jobs. So immediately the 3 years is finished and the road is constructed, that means they are coming back home. So I'm also of the view that all this money that we are going to pay people that we are employing them in the construction space, there should be a way that government can be able to identify how much they are going to pay them per day, and if a percentage of that amount of money can be set aside for the people who will be on those projects. So if it is 3 years, by the time you finish the project, though you are being paid 100 cedis a day, but government can also save extra 50 Ghana cedis for you somewhere with the small banks. So at the end of the day, when you are done with your construction work, you can get that chunk of money and start a small other business. Then again, we will be able to understand that we've been able to create sustainable jobs. But if it is just after completing the road project and they are coming back home, then these are not sustainable jobs. So again, I think there are a lot of things that they meant it well. They meant it well. But because of the past experience...
Are you then saying that the budget is much ado about nothing?
No, I'm not saying that. But like I'm saying, if you just put that against the ones that have come before and the ones that we are hearing today, this one, the theme alone speaks to something that is about growth, it's about job, and it's about economic transformation.
Are you saying it gives hope,
but
not entirely?
It gives hope, but not entirely. That's my... Just to admit, it gives hope, but not entirely.
Okay.
It is just like any other budget. But then again, don't forget that NPP also, when they took over in 2016, because they inherited an IMF economy, that one, you cannot go above budget. You must put in certain mechanism to meet the demand of IMF. So you know that they did well in 2017 and 2018 until the external forces start to do what? Hit us, and then the economy started to go haywire. So NDC has also come to inherit an IMF economy. So definitely their first 1 year, they shouldn't expect anything of what they are telling us today.
Absolutely.
So what they are telling us today, it's in consonance with the fact that when you inherit an IMF economy, you are supposed to do well in your first year. Then by the second year, yes, you can still do well, But the moment you hit the 3 years going and you exit the IMF program, that is where the fear comes in. The moment you exit IMF, then you start doing what you want to do, and by virtue of any external shocks coming in to hit you, then reality dawns on you. They realize that you are just standing on the clay feet, but not on iron rods.
Kwadwo?
Yeah.
I see that you've been writing a lot.
Right. I want to point something out. In the page 24 of the NDC manifesto, right? Number 3, it says, shift from over-concentration on macroeconomic, prioritize the microeconomy and invest in the real sector to anchor sustainable growth. They keep touting macroeconomics achievements. That's all they've been touting. Atto Forson's interview everywhere, he's touting macroeconomic achievements. Where is the microeconomic achievement? And in your manifesto, you've said that you are going to go from over-concentration on. So what the point I'm making is that, look, my brother talks about this Accra-Kumasi Expressway. And in terms of the necessity, my sister, we can never emphasize the necessity of an expressway between the 2 largest cities in the country. In President Kufuor's time, 2006, when Richard Anani was minister, that project was started. There was a drawing done. The Ministry of Highway, you go, the drawings are there. The biggest problem with this is funding. At that time, the cost was $870 million in 2006. And those in the Ministry of Highway who were there at the time will tell you that there was a team, there was the design, all that was done. Cost estimate was $870 million during President Kufuor's time. It was abandoned because they couldn't get the private sector to fund it. Now the NDC has come saying big push. Yes, the Green Book Party, they're back again. They've done a beautiful video. They put it on social media. Everybody is happy. I am happy. Because I've always said that if I could find a way to live in Kumasi and work in Accra, I'll live in Kumasi.
Okay.
Right?
Really?
Yes, because I love Kumasi.
Okay.
I just came back yesterday. Right? The point is this. We would love to have that road. It will create a corridor like no other. It's something that should have been done.
The finance minister.
No. What I'm saying to you is that the concept is not the problem. My problem with Atto is that things he does, beautiful, but he should listen and not overpromise. He should listen and not and give credit. You see, he's doing well.
Are you saying he's overpromising?
Yes, because, my dear, let's be honest with ourselves. We are in IMF. We exit next year, May. Government cannot even borrow $100 million until we exit the IMF. Let's not kid ourselves. The problem, some of us, we've been in this corridor for 25 years. Right? What I know, you can't teach it in school. I'm a businessman. I'm a member of civil society. I have been involved in a lot of these discussions. When Ken Ofori-Atta was seated in his office and 6 of the civil society went to see him on e-levy, we told him in his face that if he listened to the minority and do the 1% or so that the minority was asking for, e-levy will work. But the percentage that he's looking at, it will work. You understand? So, Pualugu, how much was Pualugu? $993 million. Government in the budget every year, the GHOne counterfunded. Because bear in mind, this $3 billion that me and you calculated for the estimated cost of this beautiful expressway to Kumasi, right? That's an estimate me and you just did. But let's assume it costs that much. There should be government counterfunding. Government need to do the pre-feasibility. Government need to do the reconnaissance and do all that. That is what you guys have taken care of in your big push budget, which is the 20 million or 30 million. The same way the previous government spent $12 million on Pualugu, which you guys made so much noise about that we spent it, we went there, there's nothing there. Yes, you rightfully admitted that in the previous administration, $10 million of a facility was spent on the Yendi Water Project. There's nothing there today. But that $10 million was used for pre-feasibility, designs, and stuff. It doesn't do the work. But on paper, there's something to show for. Right?
Okay.
So what I am saying is that even if I give all the money to Atto today, he cannot build that 195 6 lanes. 198 6 lanes in 3 years. Engineeringly not possible.
Okay.
Engineeringly not possible. You cannot engineer that road in 3 years.
Okay.
You understand? We are building Pokuase.
I mean, let's then estimate. You're an engineer. Help us understand. How many years do you think that ideally?
Okay, so let me walk you through.
Okay.
There is what you call FEED, front-end engineering and design. You need to do your feasibility. After your feasibility, you do your front-end engineering and design. That will give you all the bits you need to basically do. Then you now go to the market to raise money. It will take you not less than 18 months between feasibility, pre-feasibility, and your FEED to now go to financial closure. 18 months, that is when everybody is happy with Ghana that, hey, we are going to give you 3 billion. But it might take longer to even raise that money, right? But let's assume 18 months. That's 1 year, 6 months. Then you go to site to build. That construction will take anything less than not less than 4 years. To build 8 interchanges and 200 kilometers of 6 lanes. 6 lanes. 4 years. We are building Pokuase. How long has that taken? It's not engineering. It's not that easy. Because you see...
But you know, at some point, Pokuase stalled because of financial constraints.
Yeah, I agree, but how long has it stalled? But let's be honest ourselves. Construction takes time.
Okay.
Ground preparation, all the co-mininis that comes in. Engineers will
So
tell you.
give or take, we should give ourselves 6 years?
Yes, to do that project. But you see, that's why I'm saying that that project is a project that anybody will sign on to. So if President Mohammed comes out and say that we are starting this beautiful project, I will entreat and work with the opposition party that let's work together and start this project. It might go into your tenure of 2029 when Dr. Bawumia becomes president, right? Now, that has to be continued, right? So you work with us on that. But don't come and try and promise Ghanaians that, said again?
Their world of illusion.
Oh, my brother, that's my world. I mean, you live in your world. What's your problem? I have a world, you have your world. My world is that 2029, Dr. Bawumia is president, right? Okay. Your world is, I don't know who you want to be president 2029. Maybe you are Team Atofos, you are Team Atofosin, Team Julius Debra.
They have teams already?
Oh, yes. Team Julius Debra, Team... what is the chairman? Asiedun Ketia, Team Julius, Team Nana. They are all there. So I don't know which team you are.
I don't think Professor Nana has
well, there is a team for Professor Nana, but I am Team Dr. Bawumia, and everybody knows that.
Okay.
So Dr. Bawumia is president 2029. We will continue that project if it started. But what needs to be done is that stop over-promising. So my problem with Atufo is it's not a needed project or it cannot be done, but he's over-promising that it's not possible, right? That you deliver that project in 3 years. You can't, okay? Another thing that I wanted to make is that my brother talks about his project in Yendi. Please, Asante Finance Ministry, because there's a lot of projects that cannot be done, right? Because he's not going to raise all the money, and he's going to cut out some projects. The reason everybody announced things they don't do is because of the money they don't get. So yes, Yendi Water Project, we've all heard about it for so many years, and by now it should be done. I think that MPP, we do well in Yendi. I'm surprised you took the seat, and very surprised, and we'll take it back again anyway. But the problem is, so my sister, look, overall, I think that if Honorable Atofosin learned to give credit and learned to stop over-promising, we will all support him to do well.
Let's talk about the energy sector.
Okay.
Government says that there's $250 million energy sector debt relief. You are in that space. Is that reassuring? And another thing is the cash waterfall mechanism. We haven't been able to realize it to its full potential. What are we missing in this whole puzzle?
Receivables, revenue generation. What has really bedeviled the sector is revenue generation. That is why the government came in. And in our manifesto, MP manifesto, we also talked about the last mile, PSP, private sector participation, bringing in private company to do collection and customer service. Because in terms of what me and you want, we want resolve to our problems when we have them. We want to be able to now have a service that we can appreciate and also pay our bill. And we need private companies to come in and know that he's making money off collection, so he will come at you and stop the illegal connections and all the stuff that people do. So we need to improve on revenue collection. There is this thinking that the revenue has improved from 900 million to 1.7 billion.
Yeah,
A quick correction. I think when I was talking, the money that was promised to Gold Board is $279 million, not 17. It's 2.7. So at 279 million, I thought I'd correct that. So now the revenue has improved to 1.7. But even me, my problem with that 1.7 is that it's still, if you adjust the increment over the period, over the last 8 years, how much electricity tariffs have been increased, that's where we are supposed to get to. How ECG was not able to collect that money, and now that they are realizing that collection, for me, there was a meeting on Friday with the team, the civil society, COSECA, and the ministry and ECG. And we told them that, yes, the 1.7 billion a month is commendable, right? But I think they should be able to do more than the 1.7.
Okay.
If we're able to get the collection, that money now goes into the cash waterfall. A lot of people get it confused. The cash waterfall only distributes what comes into it. So if you don't put money into the cash waterfall, it doesn't get distributed. So if revenue improves, then more money is put in the cash waterfall and everybody in the value chain gets what they need. The bit about the grant and the monies coming into the sector, look, the sector, you don't need people to come into a profit-making sector if it's doing well. Because business are always looking for things to do. And that is where when my brother said something about building factories that the government is promising. I don't know why anytime government wants to build something, they say job creation. Business entities are profit-making entities, not job-creating entities. That's the mistake that we make in Africa, that we are going to create jobs by doing factories. No. It's a profit-making entity. When it does well in profit, that's when it can employ more. But we put the job creation at the forefront, bedeviling the institution with large overheads, then the profit doesn't come in. So what government should do is to look at entities that are profit-making. And government, I see in this budget, a bit of government trying to say, I will do. You say that the private sector is the engine of growth. I've seen that in the budget. They say that the government will do 1,200 megawatts state-owned. That's not necessary. You are trying to do private sector participation in ECG, right? Then you are trying to let government go in and build power plants. It's contradiction. You understand? So government should create the enabling environment, let ECG pay customers, pay the IPPs. When the IPPs are paid, even if they know that the most we'll do is 2 months of owing, now they've done the IPP renegotiation.
Yes.
They've renegotiated. They've come to some conclusion. They've done some commitments. They've made some savings. But those savings, my brother, you see, is a carrot and stick. If you owe me so much and you're promising to pay me consistently over a period, I'm prepared to take a haircut and get my payment. Liquidity with me is better than liquidity sitting with you and I don't have it. It is not worth anything. You understand? So that is why the IPPs, they are okay. They are receptive to taking, as long as they get money. But what we want the finance ministry to do is to be able to commit to that renegotiation so that month on month, the IPPs will get their money, which is a good thing, right? So if we're able to do that, then companies can now look in and say, hey, in Ghana, when you generate electricity, even without guarantee, within 2 months you are paid. Then I can factor that into my business model and come and build a plant in Ghana and produce without a guarantee. But when the existing companies are not even, the existing companies who have guarantees are not being paid. But you are now coming to say that you want me to build without a guarantee. Then what am I looking at? Business boardroom decisions will not allow that. Because those that are there with guarantees are not being paid. So if you go in without the guarantee, what's the guarantee that you'll be paid? So I think, yes, I have always said everywhere I go that under the leadership of John Jinapor, he's doing well. He listens. That's a good thing. And I think any minister who listens, right, will do well. That is why I keep advising Atuforsen that he should listen and give credit. No, I'm serious, because you see, I don't like when he does that. He goes to all these programs and try to beat down the success of what he inherited. Try to beat down gold for oil. Meanwhile, today, that's what you're doing, right? Maybe it's not gold for oil, but it's gold for reserves. You are selling gold to get reserves. And that money is not coming from GOG, it's coming from Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana is giving money to Gold Board to buy gold, and Bank of Ghana is selling the gold to build reserves. Whose idea was that? Dr. Baumia. Give credit.
Lillian, thank you so much. You see, and I've heard quite a number of good things from Doc But my major issue is, I say, when he talks about the issue of the factories and the job issue, perfect point. Unfortunately, it was one area MPP did so badly when they had the opportunity. When we built the Atuabo gas power plant, before we left office in 2016, the total employees there was 200. 200 employees before we left power. MPP came and did 8 years. Throughout the 8 years, they never extended the capacity of Atuabo, not even by a single standard cubic feet of gas. The same Atuabo gas plant, within 8 years, they packed the place with over 1,050 additional employees. And so today, as we speak, Atuabo has 1,250 employees. The same facility that was built that was running in 2016 with 200 employees. And so this issue, and I agree with him. If we are creating the factories and our major focus is creating jobs, then we will do that. The factory will be created, all right. But because the major focus is job, and we're not looking at making the factories really function effectively, efficiently, and be able to now sustain the jobs that we foresee in the near future, then we end up even killing the factory at birth. You understand? Which I perfectly agree with you. On the issue of energy, the entire energy, see the ECG analysis he gave, I don't think that, doctor, I totally disagree with you when you say that we are looking at bringing private sector to play a role in the ECG. And so why does the government even want to go into building another power plant? That I totally disagree with you. Because the role of ECG is different from what a power plant does. ECG is basically into distribution. Somebody has to produce the gas for ECG to distribute. And so if we are looking at addressing the slippages and then the inefficiencies in ECG, that does not close the door on us from establishing a factory somewhere. Because looking at what Atuabo is doing to us, if we have another gas processing plant, which is the GPP2 that we intend to build in 2016, to me, it will do a lot because we have to, as a society, move away from the use of light crude oil to the use of natural gas to generate power. Because you and I, every day we complain about the higher electricity tariffs. But before we came to power, I remember the manifesto, I wrote to the manifesto committee then, and I was bringing a particular suggestion. Today, if you go to the rural areas, there's a big issue. These corn mill machines, they are not able to operate effectively because most of them, they use electricity, and they are not able to pay the electricity bills. Because, and I was saying that if we can even get the rural areas, give them meters like we were designing for 24-hour economy, give them specific meters that will give them lower rates to pay so that they can serve these rural folks who only need the corn mill, the nika to grind their maize.
Give them solar. Put solar. Why do you need?
We are not there yet with solar.
No, you can. You can give the solar to the.
We are not.
But you know that. And
what
it's
they have now
how
is
in Ghana
electricity.
solar is expensive, but
Very expensive.
No, but
it's for the rich.
But
the solar as we have is for the rich.
That is why you need innovative. Again, Dr. Maumia promised 2,000 megawatts of solar, and the Ghanaians never listened.
On the issue of energy,
continue.
On the issue of
good morning
energy,
to Dr. Maumia. Just note that after the show, I'm bringing you an invoice.
on the issue of with all the investment we intend to do, we intend to add 1,200 megawatts of power to our generation grid, and I am praying that we are able to actually move from the reliance on the light crude oil to natural gas, so that we can all pay lesser on electricity. When you look at the total investment, if you are able to generate 1,200, that is even higher than what Akosomo gives us today. Even though Akosomo is hydro, and hydro would have been best for us, but it's so unreliable. So unreliable. And thermal is a no-go area. Currently, our generating mix is largely made of thermal, which is very expensive. The IPPs, look at what they are doing. Today, we are shutting down. In fact, they are threatening us every now and then. That is what, to me, even if you ask me, some of these strategic and sensitive areas of our economy, private participation is good.
But the government doesn't have the money
Yes.
to go and
But the
build.
cash
That's
waterfall
the problem
mechanism.
we have. You see, I get your point.
Yeah.
And even with the GP, the second train
Yeah.
Ghana gas, is PPP. It's private-public partnership that they're looking at. The government doesn't have the money.
Like a
Because look, if government have 1 billion today, education is taking, roads wants, health wants. So it's difficult, right? So it's PPP. Government has to spend some money to do the initial designs and stuff like that. But eventually, it's private sector participation and partnership that you want to use it. In terms of the reason I am against the government building is that we have VRA. VRA owns some thermal plants. We suggested to move those thermal plants away from VRA and bring in private sector to man them.
Okay, let him land on his
yes.
point. Then
And so, generally, if you look at the whole picture, the commitments are there, and then the over ambitious nature of the budget, I don't agree with Doctor, and I don't agree with them people when they say the finance is being overly ambitious. Because in the last budget, he was actually very pessimistic. He was under promising, and he has over delivered. And so if today he's telling us in the agri sector he's going to establish what we call the oil palm production, which will now be like the oil palm will now become like the cocoa, so that we have an alternative to cocoa. Today we are there, we don't have control over cocoa price, even though we are one of the largest producers. When the world price of cocoa drops, then we begin to cry here. If we have an alternative like the oil palm sector, which is also managed like the cocoa, then it gives us an alternative to fall on. And then another new thing, Doc, you were talking about new things. The government has just announced that from 2016 going forward, the free senior high school feeding, they cannot source products like rice, like maize, like chicken, like egg from outside the country.
Don't know why you guys mentioning egg. When was egg ever served in the high schools? Do you ever see any school eat egg?
Oh no, me, I took eggs.
Where?
no, but that was way back. I used to eat egg as well.
But if you say we never,
In the dining hall.
Yes.
not the
One
old level
egg.
time. Yes. I took eggs.
Okay.
I remember the day we were
Because I'm surprised when I see now people talking about eggs
we
in the
had
dining hall.
Wednesday. Every Wednesday
you had eggs.
Yeah, we had eggs.
Interesting.
He actually remembers the days. Okay, please land so I can go to Richard.
So almost every day, you have the government asking that these things should be sourced local. We have empowered the local industry.
Okay.
Today, as we speak, because of the prudent management of the economy, debt. Here, you agree with me? Our debt to GDP has gone down drastically from 69, which is almost 70%.
By basically
to
forcing the
45%.
dollar, by basically forcing the dollar to 10.9.
After forcing the dollar, don't even go there. Today, as we speak, I can tell you, if you go to Google, they'll tell you that on the 6th of January, the day before GHOne Mahama was sworn in, 6th of January 2025, there was a publication that from August 2024 to December 2024, the Bank of Ghana, and that was their government,
Injected
$2.8 billion US into the economy to strengthen the city. That never worked. And so today we are talking about us.
But you guys are doing it and it's working?
It's working. So
Okay,
we are
so how come
all,
it didn't work before?
Yeah, because you call it aphrodisiac in the parliament. Your people are calling it aphrodisiac. You were using expired aphrodisiac.
Interesting.
Okay, let me hear
But
from
just to Mr. Suma, that's why I was talking about construction and that hula balloon about the number of jobs it can create. And they say if you look at the construction balance chain, even World Bank has done a study on that. It creates a lot of jobs. It's not something you can easily imagine.
But he said
And
it's
when he says
temporary.
sustainability of it.
no, but you see, if you get a job today, to me, if I get a job today, that they say I can keep, I'll be paid regularly for 3 years consecutively without fail. 3 years. That is not.
Then after
And
3
then
years.
after?
No, you see, jobs are even in your current employment. When you are there 1, 2, 3 years, you are looking for an opportunity to even move to another place.
So that is on that basis.
at that
Okay.
particular moment, you
All right.
have
Richard, let me hear from you.
sincerely, you say.
Especially on the energy
Yeah,
sector.
sincerely. You see, the budget is good with the figures and all this, but to the ordinary man out there, he doesn't even understand the dynamics of these figures, GDP there, budgetary allocation there, this and that. All they want is that bread and butter. Bread and butter. And most of the time, we deviate from the bread and butter issues and go into technicalities. And technicalities has never solved any problem of this country. If not so, today, we should be able to beat our chest and say that this subsector of the Ghanaian economy, we are self-sufficient, we are self-dependent, we've been able to grow it, and it is contributing so much to our GDP. Like what Malaysia did with this our palm project that they are talking about today. It's a beautiful concept, but don't forget that palm plantation project is not a 3-year project because palm will start fruiting maybe averagely 3 years and so forth, and by 5 years time before you start reaping the full benefit of it. But just to, on a lighter note, my senior there is advocating that Dr. Baumia will be taken from JM. My senior hasn't said anything who will be taken from JM. But I'm also very optimistic.
What I know for sure is
I'm also very optimistic that if you put anybody on the same scale, I would believe that Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, he has the impetus, he has the great ideas. If you talk about ideas, I'm sure Alan cannot be left out of the equation. So I'm also believing that in my world, Alan Kojo
Really,
will be taken over
United
from.
Party. I am bringing an invoice.
Then on my substantive issues. Now, as a country, we are too much depending on gold and cocoa. And if you look at the budget, itself, if you look at government cash flows, you realize that everything is seriously tailored towards cocoa and gold, and then the oil. But realize that for the oil, because it fluctuates, we are not able to guarantee how it's going to perform because you are depending largely on the international market. It is only gold that has constantly been appreciating. The last time I was here, I said even in my village, people have cultivated cocoa. The cocoa they have harvested it. It is dry. They are keeping it in their rooms because there is no buyer. As I speak to you today, there is no licensed buyer who has the liquidity to come and purchase the cocoa from them, so the cocoas are still there. And because it's a border town, most of them are tempted to do was smuggle the cocoa into Togo to go and do what? To go and sell and make some quick money. So respectfully, let us not focus too much on gold. And if you look at the energy sector, yes, the energy sector, why is China succeeding so well? A lot of the factories in China, they are not Chinese-owned factories. No, a lot of factories are from Germany, America, France. They are all establishing there because they have very affordable and reliable energy. And energy is the growth, is the engine of growth, to put it that way. Energy is the only thing that can attract a lot of investors into your country. Were we not here when they say some companies are folding up and moving to our neighboring country, Burkina Faso and Cote d'Ivoire and Co? Have we really understood why they were leaving? So if you are not creating a very conducive environment for businesses to thrive, you end up driving them away. So like my senior brother is saying, when it comes to investing into energy, we should create a space whereby we will not depend largely on government to do it, but private sector participators can actively participate so that we can have a very, very cheap, reliable power. Because when you have cheap, reliable, as for the labor there, we have labor in abundance. Look at what happened when we wanted to enlist people into the army. That should tell you that we are sitting on a time bomb. We've been saying this over and over and over again. Everybody sitting on this table knows that we are sitting on a time bomb because, look, have we been able to do a proper audit? Not the data that Ghana Statistical Service will come and give us that unemployment is around 18% or 20%. Do you know the number of people we turn out from our state-owned universities, the private universities? Have we been able to track them from the university to understand that this quantum have been able to go into the workspace? This quantum is there, they are not doing anything, so that we can find ways and means to capitalize them. We are talking about entrepreneurship. How much are we investing into entrepreneurship so that today, if I'm a young graduate, maybe from the university, we should start having entrepreneurship coaching programs from the university. Do you know we have students who do entrepreneurship as a course, but as we speak today, they are not able to do anything because most of them have the blueprints for various innovative things that they can do, but they don't have the capital to do anything. Right. And then the bit of it which says that we are going to buy locally produced rice and anything to feed the secondary schools. I think it's a beautiful idea because with that one, as today we are speaking, a lot of food glut is there. I have a friend in Bole.
Do we have capacity to meet the demand?
For the secondary schools, in the secondary schools, they can be able to meet the demand somehow. But then again, if you bring in the Ekuko Nkitin project, I'm asking myself, the Ekuko Nkitin project, what is the plan for the feeding of the Ekuko Nkitin? What is the plan? So, and in Ghana, we are still doing the cutlass and whole farming. I'm pleading with the finance minister that if we are going to do Ekuko Nkitin project, then we should do a lot of commercial farming in growing a lot of maize, in growing a lot of soya, growing a lot of things that we can turn them into finished product that we can use to feed the Ekuko Nkitin. Because if we don't do so, it will also end up like any other program that we start so nicely, but we are not able to finish it. Because, for instance, I am in the poultry importation, I'm into poultry business. I'm into frozen food business. If I go to Tema, if I tell you the quantum of container that comes a day on chicken labs, even offal, intestine they call it, if I tell you the demand, look, my co-store in Kaswa, if I tell you the demand of this Yemadie, wonderful Jesus, you ask yourself, the demand is so huge.
Okay.
So we have the opportunity to fill the space. But what are we doing as a deliberate policy to fill the space? So one area we want to plead with government is that don't only talk about the things, but please practicalize it. So that at the end of the day, even if we are growing in Kukon Kitty, because most of them are not interested in live beds. They want a dismembered part that I can have the wings, I can have this, I can have. So I want to consolidate it.
Okay.
That when they all grow it, you have a central place where they can all bring it for it to be dismembered and package into the upper bag, this and that and that. Because that's what they are interested in. If you ask them to go and buy a live bed, sincerely, most of them are not. You are not telling to go and buy full chicken, to go and kill or slaughter it and now use to sell. They are not interested. All they need, I need upper back or I need this, I need that. So respectfully, let us look at that. And then I ask a question, respectfully, my last point. I asked a question about the Commander Sugar Factory. I really want to be told what is the state of it. And you see, the NPP government started some beautiful concept of one district, one factory. You know, the model the Japanese do is called cottage industries. Cottage industry. So every small enclave that they do something that they identify that can be a potential finished product, they establish a small industry there. So the one D1F that NPP started, I would have wished to see NDC continue with that project, but they abandoned it. The last bit of it is that the NPP also, when they were leaving, they mentioned about the petrochemical hub. The petrochemical hub, you remember? They mentioned it. But I would have wished to see the continuity. So that, the SWA government had a dream of building a petrochemical industry. Because everything in Ghana, everything we are all holding here is out of crude. From the seat you sit on, your phone, everything we have here is crude. So what are we doing for consistency and continuity of programs so that in the next 30 years to come, we say this was started by this government, another took over, and we may be able to continue.
Continuity is essential.
Hoc,
Thank you very much,
it's not helping us a lot.
He is a Deputy General Secretary of the United Party. Thank you very much.
So I was going to,
unfortunately,
he has had his bite on who leads his party. He has had his bite.
So who leads the party?
2020, we are certain that after 2028, NDC is still going to be in power.
You wasted 30 seconds. You wasted 30 seconds.
He is a member of parliament for the people of END. GHOne Safapoku is a former presidential aspirant for the New Patriotic Party and an energy analyst. My name is Mohammed. When I come back, Christmas came early. I'll tell you about that. Santa Claus is coming to town. Well, Cecil is the Santa Claus in town today. Christmas came early, I told you earlier. So there's a fair where you get to buy, you get to see a lot of goodies. But the man who is in charge, the man who is going to make sure that you get a lot of these goodies has joined me in studio. Cecil Sovereign, he's the head of sales here at the EIB Network. Cecil, good morning.
Good morning, Lily.
How are you?
I'm well, yourself?
I'm doing awesome.
Good to see you again.
Yes, absolutely. Christmas came early fair. Why is Christmas coming early? And what are you giving our viewers and our lovely listeners as well?
All right. So our viewers and listeners on radio and TV have been with us throughout the whole year. And as a brand that thinks of our people, we thought it wise once again to bring them together by giving them huge discounts. You know, I was saying on radio the last time that imagine you get a discount of 20% on maybe a bag of rice. The bag sells for 300 cedis. So 20%, you do the math, will be something around 220. Then you are able to buy 5-6 bags of rice, keep it at home. Then the whole year you are able to feed on. So that is what we are giving our...
So is a discounted fare?
Yes.
Where people just walk in and then get discounts on everything?
Exactly.
You mean everything?
Everything, from perfume, from shoes, from clothing, from cooked food itself, from uncooked food, anything at all that you can even think of at a fair. Yes.
And where are we holding this fair?
This year we are going to the Junction Mall, Nongwa. So from the 11th, which is a Thursday, through to Sunday,
December.
The 14th. Yes, December.
Okay.
So 2 weeks or less short of Christmas, so that you can. By then, I'm sure most organizations would have paid their staff. So they can come and buy in bulk, keep it Christmas and even beyond.
Okay. This will be the third time you're organizing?
Exactly.
What's been the success stories of previous ones, and what are you building on for this year's?
Sure. So there is this particular lady who came on board last year. She was even a bit hesitant. She has attended. So I even met her at another media houses fair.
Okay.
I convinced her to come on board. Say, oh, I've been here for this. I've not sold that. Don't worry. Just give us a try. So she came in, like typical of fairs. People will come in. They will come and take contact and all that. She couldn't make the numbers that she wanted at the fair. But she got a lady from Cote d'Ivoire who liked what she was into. She's into sandals, both male and female. Okay. So
locally made.
Yes, very nicely made. Once even if you are told it is made here in Ghana, you wouldn't even believe it. The lady called in Cote d'Ivoire, ordered 25 pieces, paid upfront. She produced all and she shipped it back to the lady. So it's not only about you making all the huge sales at a particular fair, but also being able to exhibit what you have. So we call it the Christmas scheme, early shopping fair and exhibition. Exhibit to the country what you are into. And I bet you never know who will call you to order.
Absolutely. How do people get to exhibit?
Sure. So please call us 05486189000. 05486189000. It will be good to take you through the process. So we have various packages. So call us, we'll take you through it. It's very affordable. People even call and they say, wow, all this for this amount of money. Yes.
Okay. But do you have, I know that some people have registered, but do you have early bird registration available?
Sure. So the entire registration process is even ending on the 28th.
Okay.
But we have limited slots. So first come, first serve. If by 21st, which is coming Friday, we get the threshold that we are looking for, we close registration. So we can do proper planning for the fair itself.
What's your threshold that you're looking for?
We're looking at a total of 70 vendors.
Okay, but how many vendors did you get last year?
Last year, we worked with 30, which we got exactly 30.
Okay.
This year, we
want to
expand it to get 70 people to come on board. So whatever you are into, be it children clothing, adult clothing, food, anything you think of. I got someone who says she's into canned wines. That was the first time I heard of that. Canned wine. Yes.
Canned wine?
Yes. I'm even looking at, sampling it.
Okay.
Yes, so
I'm equally looking forward to that.
A lot
the
of
packaging
stuff.
And everything. Canned wine, that's my first time hearing that. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And she has already paid. She's just waiting for the day.
Canned wine made in Ghana?
No, imported.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
We are not only into
I think I've seen
made in Ghana.
some what do you call it, imported wines that are canned. Okay.
So for this particular one, it's not a made in Ghana fair. Hopefully March next year we may do something for made in Ghana.
Which is the Ghana month?
This one, whether you import, you do it locally here or not, please call us 054861890.
You say we're starting on the 11th of December
which
to
will be
14th.
a Thursday to Sunday, 14th of December.
What time does it start?
So the opening on the 11th will start at exactly 10 a.m. Right after your morning show, we have 1 hour opening, then we continue. But from the Friday, 8 a.m. up to 6 p.m. Yes.
Okay. So if you're looking to exhibit this December, this is the fair that you need to exhibit at as Christmas came early shopping experience. Come and shop. For shoppers, by 11th, they need to come and shop, buy everything that you want for your walls, for yourself, some things that you need for the new year in 2026. This is the fair that you need to be at. For an exhibitor, please come. There are early bird slots for you. The slots are selling fast, so please come and register so that you can equally get your slots for this fair from the 11th through to the 14th of December as Christmas came early. You never know. You may win some goodies. I am all about goodies. Do you get to win goodies?
Oh, sure. So, I mean, just come in. There will be pick and choose or something. Then you may take something home as a bonus.
So come with me. Let's do a tag and then win the goodies. I'm sure I'm going to beat a lot of you to those goodies. Thank you very much, Cecil.
Thank you, Miss Moo.
Okay, so that's Cecil Sovereign. He's the head of sales here at the EIB network. Christmas came early. It's coming on from the 11th through to the 14th of December. Come and exhibit so people can buy your wares. And equally, come through the Junction Mall and buy some beautiful wares for yourself, for your children, for your loved ones, and for the year ahead. I am back shortly after this. Stay with me.
a brand new day. This morning, step in.
This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. Let's now turn our attention to Health Alert. Today is World Prematurity Day. A lot of people hear about preterm babies, and I used to think that in the past these babies were killed, but I am told that a number of them are still being killed in this day and age. We'll talk about World Prematurity Day. We talk about what Foundation is doing for preterm babies, how we need to sustain this drive. My guest this morning is Nakwo Kwai. She's founder and lead for J Foundation. I've also been joined by Esther Nutako and Jada Atta. They are kids of the J Foundation kids. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ladies. How are we doing?
Fine. Thank you for having us.
You are welcome. Prematurity, when you say prematurity, what accounts for prematurity?
Okay, so the normal birth, the normal tenure for pregnancy is 40 weeks. And so any baby that comes before 37 weeks is born premature. And we have different categories. So we have the extreme preterm, we have the very preterm, and we have the normal ones. So those born really in critical conditions are born during 24 weeks to 28 weeks. Those ones are critical. They have to be put under the radiant warmers or in the incubators. They have to be given some medication and tube fed and everything, yes. So, and then we have 28 to 32 where they are very preterm. They also need a lot of attention because apparently what develops last in the baby is the lungs. So they struggle to breathe, and then yes. And then we have the normal preterm. That's the ones trying to gain some weight. So the fattening period is between 30 to 40 weeks. So during that period, when they come out before then, they are very skinny. You can count their ribs and their bones and everything. And so when they are in the womb, they put on the weight naturally. But when they come out, they struggle because they've started excreting. Yes, so that's the fattening period. And then they have to do that outside the womb. So you have to give them the same environment in the womb outside it. So that's where we put them in there. Either in the incubators, or then we do the KMC, that's the kangaroo mother care, where the mother puts them in their clothes to get some warmth. So you can put them there the whole day and move around and do everything you want to do, and they'll be fine. Then they can gain some weight. Then they also know that they are closer to their mom. Yes, so that's what we...
What are the statistics when it comes to Ghana? I mean, you mentioned 3 stages. Where are we in our numbers? And even mortality.
Okay.
And then survival rate.
Okay, so in Ghana, averagely, when you have 10 babies, you have 3 of them born preterm. And so we normally take our statistics from the referral hospitals like Kolebu, Tema General, and Shao Sudoko, because worst case scenarios, when these babies are born and they cannot be taken care in the other hospitals, they rush them there. So in these places, we have a mortality of about 30%. That means if you have 10 preterm babies, 3 of them will die. And it's funny to know, this week I visited Tema General, I think on Thursday, and we went there yesterday, and 2 twins that I saw were all gone. 2 boys, yes. And you can imagine...
Were they born preterm?
Yes, they were born at 24 weeks, and so they were very tiny, and they were being... Yeah, so I saw them there. I went there on Friday and Saturday as well. They were there. But I got there yesterday, and I was told that both of them passed. And
I don't know if there are misconceptions that when you have a boy, preterm, the likelihood of survival is very minimal. Is there a misconception? Is there some?
It's not. That's true. It's because of how they develop. So
Okay.
I hear the testicles, the last thing, it comes at the latter stages. So, and it's very painful when it's dropping the balls in there. So yes, they struggle a bit. And the girls are slightly stronger than the boys. Yes. So most of the time the girls make it, leaving the boys. Yeah.
I'll come to my beautiful girls on,
Yes,
on what
yes,
you're
yes.
doing on Prematurity Day and the initiatives. But in the neonatal units that we have, I mean, because of the foundation, I know you visited a number of them.
Yes.
What are the biggest challenges that they face, especially when it comes to nurturing or taking care of preterm babies?
Okay, so for the one of our major challenges is space. So we don't have NICUs across the country. NICUs, when I say NICUs, neonatal intensive care units. And we call it neonatal because neonates are sick babies. This is where we house them. It's an intensive care unit where we keep them, we treat them, and they get better. So we don't have NICUs. That wasn't in our plan in our hospitals. We don't have NICUs and PICUs. So you walk into a hospital, a child has swallowed a coin, and they take them to the emergency, the adult emergency. Meanwhile, children are supposed to be treated differently. So in our hospitals, we are supposed to have NICUs, proper NICUs, and proper PICUs, but we don't have them. So what the hospitals have done are to locate spaces in the maternity ward for these babies, and that doesn't help. So there's a lot of congestion. We have a lot of infections because these babies have to share the same amenities and everything, and so they don't enable them to thrive. Now, our long-term goal as a foundation is to put up NICUs, properly structured NICUs, where these babies can thrive. And so that's one of the major problems. The other problem is education, creating awareness that when you are having certain developments and you're pregnant, you should quickly go to the hospital. You should take your antenatal seriously. Your babies can come early and they will thrive. And so we also have the mortality rate. Our short-term goal is to reduce it by little things, preventing infection. So we clean the hospitals periodically, call a boot and a speak and span from the roof, the ceilings to the floors. Yes, and then we change the core sheets, which the children did yesterday at Tema General. We do that all the time so that the babies always thrive in a clean environment. We speak to the mothers to also have some good personal hygiene so that these children can make it. They don't go through the risks of having been infected by certain diseases and all that. And so because they are very tiny, they are already struggling to survive. And so when they get sick, they don't make it. Yeah.
Are there emotional and financial constraints on families who have preterm babies?
Yes. So mostly,
I like the way you're smiling.
Yes.
What's your story?
So mostly when you have a preterm baby, you're worried about your finances, because you are wondering whether you can take care of all the bills that come with it, because it's quite pricey. You have to always provide oxygen for your baby, medication. You have to keep going and coming. Now the mothers, sometimes they are depressed. Why did my baby come early? They are sad. They see the babies, they are very tiny. Are they going to make it? Are they going to come out having any sickle diseases and all that, So they have this, they go through the emotional trauma, they go through the mental issues, and that's why we are there. So we have a counseling team that speaks to these mothers, and most of them lose their babies. Most of them lose their babies. So we are there for them. We speak to them, we counsel them, and then we let them know that they are not alone in it. There are mothers like us that have gone through it. You just have to show your baby some love, eat well to get good breast milk, and then you are good to go.
Scientifically, what accounts for preterm babies?
Okay, so yes. So normally when you speak to the doctors and nurses, they will tell you that, or the medical staff, they will tell you that there are several factors to it, and it's just the babies coming early. So if you have a high BP, or yes, they can come early. If you get malaria, if you get infection, your babies might come early. And then there are times that your water just breaks and your babies come early. It's like being pregnant and having a miscarriage. So yes, most people attribute it to witchcraft, curses, and all that. I don't think they are true. They are all myths, and I don't think that they're true. It just has to do with the well-being of the woman. And sometimes my babies, I don't even know why they came early. But while I was carrying,
How many babies?
I was carrying multiples. So anytime you're carrying multiples, you don't go full term.
Okay.
Yeah, so the doctors will tell you you can't do the full term. So your babies will definitely come early, either 36 weeks, 35, but they'll be fine. They'll be kept in the NICU and all that. Yes, yes.
How many babies have you got that were preterm?
So they were two. They were twins.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
Jada and the brother. Yes.
Okay. Is that Jada?
Yes, that's Jada. You can see that she's fidgeting a lot. Yes, that's Jada. Yes.
She's excited. Are you not? Jada, are you excited? That's good. What did you do yesterday when you went around? Tell me.
We went to the Tema General Hospital to like take care of babies and to change their call sheets and to when we put the balloons around, we were trying to encourage babies to stay strong.
Esther, let me hear from you. Going round, what have you observed? What words of encouragement do you give to mothers and children?
So I would say that every baby deserves a chance, no matter how early they come.
Okay.
And for the mothers, they just have to stay strong and be true to themselves.
Okay. And how many years have you been doing this?
Since 2019, January.
That's 6
yes,
years.
6 years.
How has the journey been? I mean,
been-
encouraging people to do this and then people listening to you. You know, it's very difficult for people to listen to you.
Yeah, people don't like talking about it because it's a gray area. But and it was very difficult for me to even come out of my shell. But I have a team of 15 people, parents who support, to 20 who support this cause. Some of them have had preterm babies as well. So we think that it's good to come out and then encourage other women, knowing that we've been in the same situation as they are in now, and just to encourage them and show them some preterm babies that have made it. We have some that are doctors, pilots, presidents, teachers, and all that. And so encouraging them goes a long way to better our future. You know, the children are our future. We don't want children growing up and being sick. We don't want to have a sick a bunch of adults in the future when we are gone. Yes, so then this is just to ensure that we have a good start. As the theme for this today says, today is World Prematurity Day, actually. November 17th is celebrated across the world. And the theme is giving preterm babies a good start for a brighter future. And
definitely giving them a good start for a brighter future. I'll be back shortly. When I come back, I'll introduce you to 2 more children of the J Kids Foundation. Stay with me.
Hi, how are you? Hello, my name is Inchi. I wanted to grow up like you, okay?
I have two additional women, beautiful women, by the way. I have Amma Mensma Meinigan and Mawina Nutako. They are all of the J Kids Foundation. How are you, ladies?
We're
Fine, thank you.
Okay, that's good to know. World Prematurity Day, what are you doing as J Kids? What are you doing for children? What are you doing for parents?
So, as we are like in the World Maturity Month, we celebrate these babies. So we go to hospitals, decorate the place with purple balloons, white balloons, and green balloons.
Okay.
So like these colors represent prematurity. So we use those colors to decorate the whole place. And then yesterday, that's what we did. And then we also blew tiny balloons and put it in the baby's cots.
Okay. Nutako, what of you?
Oh, yesterday when we went to Tema General Hospital, we went to the NICU and we saw the preterm babies. They were small, and so we blew little balloons, like Amma said, to show how much we love these preterm babies. And we decorated the place. So the purple balloons we used the colors that are for prematurity, and the white balloons had hearts on it to show we love the preterm babies.
Okay. Now, for you as J Kids, what does the future look like for you, especially regards to preterm babies, the use of technology so that we can prevent mortality?
Yes, okay. So what we want to do as a foundation is to ensure that these babies have a lower mortality rate, so a high survival rate in that instance. And then to show that in doing this, we have to increase our educational or creation of awareness. And then we also have to put up structures to house these babies. Our future plans is to have a surgical unit at the Kolebu Hospital where we can operate on such babies with very, very critical conditions. So most of these babies, you give them oxygen because they need it, and if it's not measured properly, they go blind. And if before 2 to 3 years you don't correct it, it becomes permanent. You see, so there are lots of conditions that come with this that can be fixed. Some of them are being operated when they are that tiny. They have to gain the weight and all that. Yes, so there are lots of things.
What can government do to support people like you so that we can save more preterm babies?
Yes, so government can team up with us to put up properly these structures. We have designs for places like Winchi Hospital and places where there are no NICUs at all and everything. So if governments can actually come into our stead and help, we'll appreciate it. Or they can put up the structures and then we'll furnish it. It will help in the long run. And I know there are other foundations that also support this cause. We can come together and create change. The problem shouldn't be the same year on. We have to make change along the line. Yes.
Okay. Definitely, we need to make change. I mean, it's not encouraging to find preterm babies dying. I mean, this day and age, it's quite sad. Thank you very much for what you're doing, and we wish you all the best. We pray that you get all the support that you need. Please come and support her. She needs all the support.
Yeah, and if you want to support us, you can visit our website, jfoundation.net. Yes, and then we have all our contact information there. You can find it.
Are you on social media?
Yes, J Foundation 18, Facebook, X, Instagram, everywhere we are. Yes, and then on LinkedIn.
Please find them and support them. Then, do you have some numbers they can call you?
Yes.
Please do that for me, Amma.
So there are two numbers. The first one is 0244 762 751. The second one is 0264
64
762-751.
Okay.
So you can contact us on this.
Absolutely. So that's Armaments Mami Negan. Mawina Nutako. Earlier we had Esther Nutako and Jada Atta, all of the JK's Foundation. And then the lead person, there's Nako Kwai. Please, let's support preterm babies. I mean, looking at the statistics, it's as important that we do that. I am back shortly. I take you to church. You to church is the Kingdom Summit International, and I've been joined this morning by Bishop Dominic Newlove Alute. He's founder and head pastor, Living Faith Ministries International. Last year he was here to talk about the summit. Let's look at how the last year's summit was and how different is this year is going to be like. Good morning, Bishop.
Good morning. I'm blessed. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
Wonderful.
Grace is sufficient.
Amen. Amen.
Last year, you were here.
Yeah.
You spoke a lot about the Kingdom
Yes.
Summit International. How was it last year? Turnout?
Yeah, the turnout was good. It was wonderful. Yeah, everything went very well. Yes. Yeah, and we are expecting much improved summit this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What different thing are you doing this year?
Almost on the same line, but the only difference is that we are actually emphasizing personal awareness, the personal development. You know, that you can't leave your destiny in the hands of society and other people.
True.
That you must take control of your own life. You are the pilot of your life. You know, so if you don't make things happen for you, you have a shock. And time is very ruthless. It doesn't wait for anybody, no refunds. By the time you realize you are 60, 70 years and you have really achieved nothing.
This year, you say subdue, dominate, and reign. Why?
Yeah, because that's the kingdom mandate. That's the kingdom mandate. God created us to subdue the earth, to dominate the earth, and to reign, and use all the resources for the benefit of mankind. God did not create another man to dominate another man, but God created man to dominate his creation. You know, so in essence, we are trying to help people to understand that you cannot be subservient or a servant to society, to people, to systems, you know, and blame other people for your inability to become who you need to become. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
This year's summit starts today?
Yes, started yesterday.
Oh, it started yesterday.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It
till the 23rd.
Yes.
Walk us through what you're expecting and what should patrons expect as they attend the summit.
Yes. What we're expecting is good attendance. Yesterday was good. The attendance was very good. And what they can expect is old-time Bible teaching and preaching. You know, knowledge is key.
I agree.
Knowledge is key. You see, I keep on saying that we pray a lot in Ghana, but the knowledge of the Word of God is very less in Ghana. Okay, but without knowledge, there will be no revelation. Without revelation, there will be no understanding, and you cannot do things you don't understand. So we even pray without understanding. A lot of people believe that the more you cry, the more God hears you. It's not true. God is not a man, so he doesn't have feelings like you and I. He doesn't understand your feelings.
So when we're praying, we shouldn't be crying to God?
Well, your crying is just your emotions, expressing your emotions.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that God is not, as long as God is concerned, according to scripture, it's neither here nor there.
But he says he created us in his own image.
Yeah, but it's not, God is a spirit.
Okay.
And you are also a spirit, but you live in this body. So this body is that which expresses all these emotions. You know, a lot of people believe that the more they cry, the more God will hear them.
Is that false?
No, it's not true. God responds to His word. Okay. God responds to His. He said, if you ask anything according to His will, He hears you, not according to how many hours you cry. You know, but according to His will, He hears you. So you need to pray according to God's will. And God's word is God's will. So I need to discover what the word of God says so that I can pray according to His will. And it's very easy.
You have some amazing lineup of men of God.
Yeah. So this year we have an extra person, Prophet Enesusu from London.
Okay.
Very astute man of God. You know, he's a commercial pilot, a businessman. So you can imagine his level of understanding, you know. And then we have Apostle General Sam Kranchi Ankra. Then we also have Dr. Kojo Bempa from Holy Hill, Assemblies of God. Then we have from CEM, Reverend Steve Mensah. And then my very good friend from North Carolina, Dr. Jerry Grillo, who's also be coming, and he will help me with the Saturday. Sorry.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Well, what's happening on Saturday?
Saturday is more like a seminar.
Okay.
But it's more as very interruptive because we want to, the idea is to help people to understand that you can create your own business.
Okay.
You can create I mean, you everything you need is inside you.
But how do I harness it? How do I bring it out?
Why?
How?
That is why the teaching is there. That's why we're going to do the Saturday. So the Saturday we want to focus on how to maximize your potential, bring all these things out for your own benefit. You know that you can't depend on the government.
Okay.
You can't depend on your parents. There comes a time, you know, that everything and anything you are depending upon, you know, leaves you. Then you have to depend on yourself. You need to create. You can create something for yourself. You know, I was on my way to New York, and this gentleman met me. I mean, we met at the airport at JFK, and this is what he said. He said, "You coming from Ghana?" I said, "Yes." He said, "There is money all over Ghana."
Is it?
Yeah, that's what he told me. I said, "Why do you say so?" He said because in Ghana you can see, I mean, a lot of opportunities to make wealth, to create your own business. There's a whole lot of things, and he said to me, I mean, I don't even understand why you are here.
Okay.
He said you can do better in Ghana than being here. You see, so it means that there are things that are here that we don't see, that people come from the outside and take advantage of it. And sometimes it's complacency, you know, because when you live in your own home, you become very complacent. So that's it.
So at the summit, what are we doing at the summit? Are we coming to listen to how to create businesses? Are we coming to pray? Will there be prophetic word?
It's inclusive.
Okay.
It's inclusive. Prophetic word, training, business training, management, and word, old-time word, motivation, you know, impactful. I'll be talking about discipline, you know, that you need to inculcate discipline in your life. Many people fail because they are indisciplined. Life is not about just gifts and certificates. It's about how you can discipline yourself in what you are called to do. You know, I'll be talking about along that line. And the gentleman who is with us, Prophet Ernest also, is a seasoned prophet. Yesterday, you know, it was amazing. The prophetic word that came, you know, for the individuals was awesome. So we are expecting everything, you know.
Where is the summit being held?
At Butri, Living Faith International Church, Rema City.
Okay.
You just Google and it will just bring you there so easily. You can't miss it. When you get to Butri and you mention Living Faith, everybody will bring you there. It's so easy to come. Very easy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Is it open to the public? Do they need to register?
Only the Saturday. Saturday, you need to register. All our social media handles, you can register from there. But in the evening, it's open to the public, you know, 6:30, and the whole services starts, you know. And the speakers, the musicians, you know. Yesterday, we have Minister Loy who came. I think tonight we have Celestine Donko.
Okay.
Yes, and a whole lot of musicians that will praise the occasion, you know, to make it very, very interesting and lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to church. It started yesterday, but tonight we're going all the way through to the 23rd. We're going to subdue, we're going to dominate and reign at the Kingdom Summit International. Thank you very much,
Thank you
Bishop.
so much.
Any word you have for people out there, why they need to be at the KSI, Kingdom Summit International?
Why they need to be? Yeah, you want to be motivated. You want to be in charge of your own life. You want to break out of the system where you are looking to somebody to help you.
Okay.
You see, that is our focus. Breaking out The theme is the God of the breakthrough. You know, David said, the Lord have broken through by my hand. So God will use your hand to give you what you need, what you have. God doesn't work outside of you. He always asks them, what do you have? He said to Moses, what do you have? He said, a stick. He said, yeah, use that. So all of us have something we can use. Everybody. God doesn't leave anybody without anything. All of us have something. Sometimes you are looking for or at what somebody else has without recognizing what you have. You must discover what you have and develop it for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that is Bishop Dominic Aludi. He's head pastor and founder of the Living Faith Ministries International. Tonight or through till the 23rd, we're all headed to the Living Faith Ministries at Shalibuchi, Rema City. We are going to subdue, like I told you, we're going to dominate. And of course, we are going to win. There are some wonderful ministers of the gospel attending. So please make it a point to be there every evening at 6 p.m. Thank you very much, Bishop. Let's do some celebrations now. Happy birthday, Emmanuel. Wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and everything that brings you joy. May this year bring you adventures, good health, and countless beautiful moments from your mom, dad, and siblings.
Thank you.
God bless you. Linda, wishing you a day filled with love, laughter, and everything that brings you joy. May this year bring you new adventures, good health, and countless beautiful moments. Enjoy every second. You deserve it. Today, the management and staff of Delft Imaging Ghana Limited proudly celebrates the life and leadership of a truly exceptional woman, our Managing Director, Mrs. Elsie Apiedu. On this special occasion, we, your Delft Imaging Ghana family, celebrate your excellence, your leadership, your generosity, and your heart for humanity. Happy birthday, Mrs. Elsie Apiedu, from all of us at Delft Imaging Ghana Limited. Happy birthday to you, Thelma Elinam. You're an amazing person and deserve all the good things life can offer. Enjoy your day, dear, from Jones Aji. Happy birthday, Debbie. Have an awesome day. You are wonderful, kind, and beautiful. Keep shining, girl. I'm always praying that infinite blessings pour into your life today and every day. I wish you nothing but peace and happiness. Happy birthday to you, Christabel Freeman from Sammy. Happy birthday, Sandra Ellison, HR assistant at EIB Network. May this birthday come with lots of blessings and favor from the Lord. Keep shining and do exploits. We love you. Happening. I am back shortly after this break.